It is good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too, man.
Thank you for coming and doing this.
Yeah, for sure.
The SNL thing you did on with Jared on Saturday,
yeah.
Dude, you're funny as fuck.
Appreciate it.
You're a good comedic actor, dude.
Thanks, man. You know, it's one of my, I like to say, talents.
have you done like sketch comedy or anything remotely like that? Because you seem natural.
No, but that's what I want to get into. Well, I shouldn't say no. I do Dinner Detective. So, like, the murder mystery stuff.
Okay.
So, it's like we get to improv a little bit with that. And I work with, like, a couple of people who do shows at the box.
Oh, you know what?
So
okay. What's his fucking name? William Wheeler. He posts that on his Facebook a lot, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what is that?
So, it's a murder. Bro, you never seen, like, the murder mystery games and, like, shows? Like, where people. Bro, so literally it's just a bunch of people. They all come in for dinner. And then one of the actors dies. You know what I mean? Like, they come in, I've been stabbed. You know, all this stuff, right? So then I play the detective. I come busting in the room like, oh, everybody get your hands up, you know? And then, like, we just go through the clues with the people. We're basically trying to, like, guide them to, like, solving the mystery. You know what I mean? So it's like...
it's like an interactive movie.
Yeah. No, for real, bro.
No shit.
Like, I'm trying to think. There's actually a movie...
Keep going. I'm just going to check the cameras. Keep going.
Yeah, for sure. There's actually a movie based on it. I want to say it's... Dang, I can't think of the name of it, but they do the same thing. It's like a murder mystery, like somebody dies or whatever, but like supposedly in the movie the death is real, you know. But yeah, man, Dinner Detective is lit. We do it mostly on Saturdays, and then we just go, and then I want to say it's like maybe like 4 hours the entire show, because we start like around like 6, and then we don't get done till about 10.
Oh shit! So it's like a whole event.
Yeah, bro. They have dinner, everything.
That's sweet. Well, that's good that the dinner part of the Dinner Detective is actually getting served.
No, yeah, for real, man.
So is this like you go like to people's houses and do they go to somewhere to have it done?
They do that, bro. They do private shows.
No shit.
Yeah, I've only done one private show, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I have a thing about like being in people's houses. So like, I can't just go to like, for example, like right now I'm in your house, right? Like, and I'm seeing everything in the room. I'm like, all right, Halloween, like all these like killers and stuff, superheroes, like all the comics, right? I'm like absorbing all this. I'm like, okay, that's his thing. If I go to your house though and I see some weird shit, you know, like we were in this room and it was weird. It was supposed to be like an office, but it was also like the workout room and like the playroom.
Oh shit!
And then you just start looking in boxes and you find weird stuff. You know what I mean? Like you just like you guys weren't fully moved in yet room.
Right? Yeah. That's you see, you saw my shit stash out in the front in that little cubby area.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like what's so crazy? I saw all yours and I was like, all right, a bunch of comic book stuff on it. So I'm like, all right, it's probably more of like the posters and stuff like that, right? Figures, everything.
Yeah.
But like, if I open the box or like it's just a plain brown box and I see, I don't know,
bunch of dildos.
Exactly, bro. Like
bunch of dildos, crazy. Strap on, cock rings.
I can't comfortably be in your house anymore.
Well, that's what like I remember because I don't have a lot of very like, not that I had a bad childhood, but I don't have like a lot of like vivid memories of my childhood. Like outside, like I remember like playing video games with my buddies or like longboarding in like middle school and shit like that. But like things that I do remember, like having to stay at my friend's house like for the first time, and then you just seen like the one or two things that's just like that's out of place. It didn't have to be fucked up. It was just like that's just strange to me. It just registered in my little brain as weird, and it kind of fucked up the friendship a little bit. Bro. And it's like it's just strange.
I had a friend do that to me one time. It was when I first moved to New Mexico, bro. So when we first got here, we were living in these apartments, the Del Rio apartments on Montano. Shout out to Del Rio. They dealt with a bunch of badass kids.
Oh, shit. Exactly. That's it. I tried to get a fucking apartment there a couple months ago.
The Del Rio. Honestly, I don't blame you if like they like didn't let you in, like, you know what I mean? Or like they're so strict, bro. And I get it because like people fuck those apartments up.
Well, now they're, if I'm thinking of the same apartment complex, I think they recently converted to the housing credit system where it's like you have to make under a certain amount of money to be able to be in the apartments because they give you like the vouchers and then they get the kickbacks, whatever the fuck it is. So like I was stressing out for a good 3 or 4 weeks trying to find a new spot. Yeah. It's like, cause I don't make a lot of money, but I do, like I survive generally. Yeah. I can feed myself. I pay the bills, all that stuff. But it's like I make more than the one person amount. So I don't qualify for this. but then I'm not qualifying enough because for like the regular housing, like whether you're renting a house, a condo, whatever, like thank God I found this place when I did, because this place only required like 2 times the rent, I think, but these other places require like 3 times the rent. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by the amazing people over at Chopped Chili. Guys, this is personally my favorite chili brand here in the state of New Mexico, and you can find them online at choppedchilico.com. You can also find them all across the state of New Mexico at Sprouts, Albertsons, Smith's, and a bunch of other stores in Albuquerque, Santa Fe, Las Cruces. I believe they're even down in El Paso now. They sell red and green chili, of course. My personal favorite is this blend of red and green, and they also sell online frozen bags of green chili. So again, go to choppedchilico.com to get yourself some amazing chili today. Now back to the podcast. It's like, I don't fucking, what?
The fucking housing crisis
What
in New Mexico,
the world?
bro.
Yeah.
You know what you gotta do? Got to get some kids, bro.
Fuck that. Fuck. That is the worst advice. Okay. The amount of people that think that I'm going to have a kid is a solution to any problem. No. In what universe?
It's never the solution.
It's never the fucking solution. I hope you're not going around telling gullible people that.
You know, everybody's a little gullible, so you don't really know if you are or you aren't, all right?
You moved into the Del Rio apartments?
No, yeah. When we first moved here, I was in high school. We moved into the Del Rio apartments, and this kid I met in the apartments, we were hanging out, whatever. And my mom, she was like, "Oh, he seems like a nice kid, right?" So she was like, "It's cool if you go hang out with them. You go to their house. I know where they live, whatever, right?" So we went over there one day. This was like in the summer, and like we're just chilling, whatever. I'm like, "What you want to do, bro? Like we could just kick back. I don't know, put on MTV or something. Like let's just chill, whatever, right?" This dude was like, "You want to see my mom's dildo?" And I was like, "No." Bro, he pulls it out anyways, and he's like, "Look at it, you guys." And then he like legit like, bro, like as close as the microphone to your face, like gets close to me, and I was like, you know what I mean? Like,
and you know they didn't wash it. They're just running under the hot water at most.
Yeah,
just
bro,
hot water.
They're not wiping that thing off. Like, yo, Clorox wipe or something. A baby wipe. It's just anything.
When I was I've never said this like publicly, but when I was a little kid, I had a buddy of mine, and his parents were they were involved. Let's just say, I don't want to out the guy completely, but cause I know he listens every now and again. His parents worked in a church. Let's put it that way, at various levels, higher levels. And I remember we were staying at his house one time, and at the time, the only TV they had that had like the red, yellow, and the white like plugins was the TV in his parents' room. So I brought my PlayStation, plugged it in, all that stuff, and we're like bringing chairs up, right, trying to figure out where to put the pizza and all that shit. And we're playing like one of the WWE games, and I remember I ended up sitting on the floor, and I looked, and like there's a little like piece of like cloth like sticking out front of the bed. I was like, what the fuck? We were pulling it, and it was fucking crotchless panties. And I was like, no shit. Just threw it under, and I never told him. Bro. I was like, I'm not going to do that to him. I'm not going to tell him that his hyper-religious mother, because it's like mom and dad. That's cool. Yeah. But no kid wants to know how freaky their parents really are.
Right. And then not to mention, like, they're, like, you know, figures in the church.
Yeah.
Like, that immediately kills his whole... Like, his whole upbringing is now changed forever. Like, he's like, what is God? Like, everything you've told me is a lie. Mom, you wear crotchless panties? These are for whores. Like, imagine, bro.
Who ate all the pussy? Apparently his dad.
Right? Dad ate all the... Bro, he fucking ate the underwear, too, apparently. Jesus. Like, man.
That's funny as shit. But, yeah. Yeah, it just sticks in my head every time someone brings it up. The housing crisis in this fucking city is killing us.
Nah, yeah,
it's not good.
Yeah.
Do you have like what do you do for work? 'Cause I don't know much about like your personal life, but you come off as a very like intelligent guy.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. You know, I actually tell people my day job makes me feel like Bruce Wayne, and comedy makes me feel like Batman. Because I'm a financial analyst, bro.
Oh shit! Okay.
So like, I work for a credit union, and
oh no,
I think what's so crazy is like I do all this stuff for them during the day, and then at night like I'm just out here slinging jokes, and like they even know that I do comedy, and they just think it's a riot. They're like, that's hilarious. Like they even like, bro, let us know whenever like you want to go on tour or something. Like they're very cool about it.
Do your work people like come out to your shows ever?
A couple times.
How is that gone?
It's actually been very interesting. I actually had the COO come to First Fridays one time.
Oh,
and
shit. Did
one
you
of
win?
my I did win.
Good.
Which, yeah, right? I know that was the best part. Like, I won, but I think one of the jokes I told had him like, what the fuck? Because I was talking about it's this joke. I'm still really working on it, but it's just about how like people say they don't see color until it's a police sketch lineup,
Yeah, I've heard you tell that one.
You're right, yeah. And so before, like, the joke, I didn't even really have much to it. Like, there's still not really much to it. But I was just like, they'll say everything like, oh, he was tall. He looked very athletic. It seemed like, if I could say a physique, it was like basketball. Wide nose. And then, like, my punchline was like, at this point, just call him a nigga. And so our COO was like there in the off, like in the crowd or whatever.
Yeah.
And so like I see him, he's like recording like, this is great, and then he kind of puts his phone down. But I knew it was a good joke because he picked his phone back up. So I was like, it couldn't have been that bad. It couldn't have been that bad.
That's not going on the LinkedIn, dude.
No, right? He was like, I'm gonna show this to another coworker, like the lady across the hall from me. He was like, I'm gonna show this to her and like see what she thinks. And so I saw him in his office and they were laughing, but I'm like, this is never gonna be like a thing we talk about like out loud, right? Ever.
Yeah, this is like Don't Ask, Don't Tell in 2002. We're gonna we know it's happening, but just don't worry about it.
Exactly, man. So like, even like the other day, he was like, bro, yeah, let me know when you're doing the show. I'm going to come by again. And I was like, all right, for sure, I got you. But at the same time, I'm like, man, should I? Like, who all have you shown that video to?
Right.
Like, our CEO is a black woman. So it's just like,
yeah, she's either really about it or just not with it at all.
No, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's funny. So you're a financial analyst.
Yeah, man.
So what is that for a credit union? What are you like working with mortgages? Are you working with loans?
Everything.
Like, no shit.
Yeah. So like, I look at basically like our profitability as well as like the rates we're giving to our members. If our rates are competitive, I look at like, for example, like what we like get money, like when we borrow it, what's the rate we're getting the money at? Can we like basically work with our members to give them better rates? That's why I tell so many people, because working in credit unions taught me a lot about like, before I was thinking like all banks and credit unions were just like the same. No, credit unions are so much better on your wallet.
Right.
Like, way better.
Well, because you tend to get, from what I know, is that you tend to get better rates, get better interest rates, and then because the bank's money, like a Bank of America, Wells Fargo, whatever. Maybe Bank of America's not a great example because they're always fucked up. Yeah. But that's my bank, and I know they're fucked up. Yeah. But I know that like their money's insured by the government, but there's like an extra protection on credit unions, right? Or something like that?
No, so their money's insured one way, ours is insured a separate way, but it's pretty much the same. Like,
oh, okay.
So everybody gets, I don't know why. Honestly, I haven't, like, it's really a frontline thing, but I should remember it. But everybody gets like $250,000.
Right, from the FDIC or whatever?
Yeah, secured per account, like each individual account, basically. So if like you got $250,000 in the bank, and then like something happened, or yeah, I guess in the bank something happens, the government or whoever like bails them out, right? Credit unions, they already have this insurance like from the NCUA or whatever, and then yeah, just takes care of that for everybody. But like some credit unions, they like get fucked over. That's why I think it's great to have your money there, but if you got a crazy amount, like you got to make a way to keep it all insured. Right.
And so when you're dealing with people on a day-to-day basis, like what are some of the more common financially illiterate things that you're seeing amongst people that you see on a daily basis?
Most common, probably like the way people spend, as well as like how they, I guess, try and pay back debt. You know what I mean? A lot of people look at it as like, okay, they don't look at the interest. So a lot of people think like, oh, I just borrowed $100, only got to pay this $100 back. You're going to end up paying like, I don't know.
Like $125 or some shit.
Exactly, right? So then they do that. They don't realize the interest. So they think I borrowed $100, only got to pay back $100. But also the way they try and pay it back, because then they hook you on this minimum payment, right? And that's what a lot of people get stuck on, is like, I can make this minimum payment and I'll be fine.
Well, that's why people get stuck on car loans.
Exactly.
So like, yeah, it's only... I think I had my buddy in here a couple weeks ago, and he was telling me that like the average car payment in Mexico right now is like $600, which is fucking insane. It's
criminal.
It's criminal. But then it's like, okay, you're paying $600 a month. Let's say the car itself or the loan you took out is like $25,000. Okay, they tell you you're going to be able to pay that off in 48 months or however long that loan is. But then in reality, you're going to pay like 30 grand, 32 grand because of the interest alone. And so do you see that a lot where people are just looking at the payment and they're not looking at the holistic, like, hey, with interest tacked onto this, because they don't advertise that, obviously. They're like, yeah, you're really going to pay. No, they're just like, yeah, it's only $400 a month.
Yeah, it's not even that. I see just so many people just, I think when it comes to cars, people see something dope and they just jump on it, right? Like people want Hellcats, they want Mustangs, all these things.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, $600 a month, I make that in one check, which is stupid. You shouldn't spend your whole check on a fucking car payment. You know what I mean? But then you also look at it like what they're seeing is like, oh, I'm only paying $600 a month plus this insurance bill, because now you also have to have fully covered insurance on this car. You know what I mean? So it's just like people's spending habits, like the way they see money. You know what I mean? Like the way they add it up, it doesn't actually make sense. Nobody ever adds on like the interest. They don't add on like what comes with that car, because now you also got maintenance on it. You got insurance. You got all these things you got to keep up with. You know?
What's the, in your opinion, some of the smarter ways to pay off debt? Because I mean, you always hear about like, if your debt
depends on what it is.
If your debt gets too high, you can like haggle with whoever owns your debt, because by the time that if your debt just piles and piles, let's say it's like a credit card and your credit card debt just piles and piles and piles, like even if you are making the payment, your debt has already gotten sold off to like 3 different credit companies or debt companies or whatever it is, and you like haggle with the companies. Is that true generally? I know this is all case by case.
So that's honestly, because this is almost in the realm of credit repair, which I don't know much about credit repair, but from what I've heard is when they look at your credit history and what it is you owe, and like things that might be going into collections and such, there's like some way apparently that they reach out to these credit card companies, and supposedly what they do is ask if they gave you a certain notice or something in regards to it. And if they didn't provide this, or they can't show that they show that they provided this, then I guess they'll have to like wipe it off your credit history. I don't know. It's some weird thing.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't really know credit repair, but I've been hearing about that.
Okay.
I think personally the best way to pay off debt though is just to pay it off fast. Just like if you get auto loan, you want to just pay it off as quick as you can. I'm not saying just like keep blowing your whole check on it until it's done. But ideally, I would say pay it off a little bit quicker, because then it's going to show that you had this large amount that you were able to pay back, right? That's for the car. However, if you have something like a credit card, you want it to you want to keep it open. I would recommend if you get like a credit card, especially if it's a beginner, use it for something just so simple like gas, or like once a month you buy like, I don't know, dinner or something with it. But something so simple that you can just keep paying it back, because the idea with the credit card is just to keep it open. Because what they don't tell you is the longer you keep that credit line open, the better your credit history gets, and then the better your credit gets. Right. So, like, if it's closed-ended loans, just pay it off. Because at the end of the day, like, once it's paid off, it's paid off. And the sooner you pay it off, the less money you're spending on that expense. But if it's a credit card, I would recommend just scarce spending on it. And then, if you can, keep that, like, below, like, half the limit, ideally. Because one, then if you got an emergency comes up, you got that extra half there. But also, it just doesn't use up your credit utilization. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like saying you have this much debt and you're using this much. With those credit cards, if you have $1,000 limit, you're using that whole $1,000 all at the same time. They're just like, yeah, your credit utilization is fucked up. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah. And because I'd imagine that a lot of these, because I've experienced myself where like if you have a good credit history, they just like, they don't even tell you. I remember I was like, oh, my app, like, oh, I have an extra $2,000 worth of credit. And then like 2 years later, they up it by another 1,000. And then 2 years later, another 1,000 and so on. And they kind of like bait you in. It's like, hey, you have a little bit more. Mm-hmm. You have a little bit more. And it's fucking worked on me sometimes. Yeah. I'll tell you what. But what, like, so as far as like getting people trying to come in to get approved for loans, what are generally like, what's the criteria that's either granting loans or denying people for loans?
What's really denying a lot of people these days is if you let something go to collections.
Okay.
Because once it goes to collections, that's telling whoever your lender is that somebody lent you money and it got to the point where they had to get it on paperwork that you need to be paying them back. Like they had to get, I guess, a legal representation. Like somebody had to come in and like actually make you pay this money back. No lender wants to see that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if you have collections on your like history, especially within like the last few years, like it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
If you can get that stuff paid off, you can figure out a way to get it off like your credit report or whatever, then that's great. But yeah, you go to collections, it's gonna mess you up.
What made you interested in doing finance? 'Cause, I mean, I just asked because, like, I remember going through school and I just fucking sucked at math.
Dude.
And I tried to get interested in it. I tried my best, but it just killed me every time.
So I was always good at math. I think I credit that to my great grandmother. She had this thing that all of her like children, grandchildren, great grandchildren, she taught all of us how to count money. Like that was her thing. Like she taught us like when we were super young too. Like when we were learning how to count, she was like, first thing you want to learn how to count is money, which I thought was dope. Right? She kept it real with us. She's like, learn how to count your money first. So she taught us like how to count and stuff. And so math for me, I think just because it was something we learned at a young age, for like all my family really, we're pretty decent at it, you know? So when I got to college, at first I was like criminal justice. And then I was like, nah, I want to be in business. Because that's why I really saw growing up was like myself in a suit. You know what I mean? Like showing up to work, like shirt, tie, like ready to go in meetings, whatever.
And then you started doing comedy.
Bro, right? For real, man. That's literally what happened. And then I was doing marketing. And one of my marketing professors, and this is honestly, I think it's funny. The reason I got into finance is because he made me feel like he brought out my competitive side about it. Because I was already doing well in marketing, but he said something that like finance and accounting majors, oh, it's way harder for them. Like just saying that that's like a tougher like field to like work in and to get into compared to marketing. So
he just called you a pussy.
Basically, bro. Like, and he was a marketing professor. I was like, bro, you're literally the social media marketing professor. Like you're sitting here telling us that we took the easy route. You know what I mean? And so it's like I don't know about I don't know what it is, bro. I got this real like mean streak when people call me out on shit. You know what I mean, bro? Like when you bring out that competitive side, like I'm like, no, like now I got to prove a point.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting a master's in finance.
Jesus. Well, I mean, that's good,
right?
That's good. You're able to do that. Maybe fucking size. Like, hey, I've seen this archetype before. If I just kind of call him a bitch, he's gonna get a high degree one day.
Right. This guy saw me coming a mile away, man. But he said it, and I was like, all right. I was like, you think so, huh? And I was already good in like all my accounting and finance classes. I feel like I did really well in those because I was good with math. So when he said it, I was like, nah, bro. I just can't believe that. Like, this definitely isn't the easy route. So
Well, were you actually like learning anything in a social media marketing class? Because those classes kind of I've never taken one, but just outside looking in, I'm looking at that, and I only have my associate's degree in criminology or criminal justice, and not go very far in college. Yeah. But you would think that you want your social media marketing class getting taught by a guy or a gal who's good at social media. You want your business class taught by people who have built businesses.
Yeah.
You want it taught by like rich people.
Yeah.
So like, did you learn anything in the social media marketing class?
Yes and no. Because I learned the basics. It's the stuff that literally anybody, like, you don't even have to have a degree low key for what we learned in the social media marketing class. I think it was just the overall look at marketing as a whole, like the entire degree. But the class itself, I was like, I already knew this stuff. Because, they were talking to us about, like, basically tracking your followers, like where all your attention is coming from, where your viewers typically live, stuff that's popular to them, how to advertise, like, yourself, how to set up these advertisements. And it's crazy because it's like any, like, 14-year-old with an Instagram account can do that now.
Right.
You know what I mean? So the social media marketing class, while I get the reason we were in it, it also proved very, like, there was no point to it.
Right. And I feel like that's a lot of college these days.
Yeah.
Especially like the prerequisites, like the stuff you have to take. It's like you're taking, at least from my experience, you're taking courses that are just a small step above, if not even just adjacent to high school courses you're already taking.
Yeah.
Just to justify a 4-year degree, because you'll really start getting into the actual courses inside your college, whatever it is. Like if you're in the business college, in the medical school, or the pre-law, or whatever it is you're doing, you don't start getting to that until your last 2 years of college.
Yeah.
If you're lucky.
Yeah.
And then like, hey, this shit's way too advanced. I got to go to a master's school. And I got to go get your doctorate and all that shit. So a lot of it's just, hey, we're going to milk you for fucking $30,000 over 2 years. Or not even that, $60,000 over 2 years.
Yeah, man.
Just be justified getting money from you.
Yeah. And I will say this. I definitely went to college at a different time. Social media wasn't as popular as it is now. Like TikTok still wasn't out.
Right.
Instagram still had the like brown and like tan camera. You know what I mean? Like at the time, I'll give them that. This is a time.
They're teaching you how to post.
Yeah. Like this was definitely a time where like social media really wasn't as understood as it is now. But at the same time, like looking back, I was like, I could have figured this stuff out just by like trying to blow up on social media at the time. You know what I mean?
Speaking of TikTok, did you get on that fucking red note when everyone was freaking out about TikTok? Did you get on red note?
No.
Good.
No.
Good. Smart man.
You know what's so crazy, man? It was funny when because when that happened, I was actually in Illinois. So I was sitting there with my nephews and my nieces and like my little cousins. You know, they're all on their phones or whatever, right? And then TikTok got shut off. We're all sitting there watching TV, and then we just hear one of them, "They did it!" We're like, "What?"
It's like little nukes are going off.
They were like, "Yeah." They're like, "They really did it." And we're like, "What are you talking about? They really did what?" They were like, "They banned TikTok." We were like, "Oh, yeah, that's crazy." Like they were all like on their phones, like, "I can't refresh." We were like, "Yeah, that sucks."
Tens of thousands of new school shooters almost got born because of TikTok getting banned.
For real, man. That was the funniest thing. I literally just put my phone out. I was like, "Oh yeah, look at that."
Yeah.
It was like, anyways.
I feel like that was the easiest thing for them to do. It's like you create a problem just to fix it yourself.
Basically.
You know what I mean? Because like I remember, because I had TikTok for a bit, and I got frustrated with it on like a business side of things because like I had no idea what to post to make like the podcast or stand up do well. And the only clip I ever had do well that only got like maybe 15,000. Yeah. And it was a stand up thing about Trump getting shot. So of course that fucking
blew up.
Did okay. Yeah. You know what I mean? But like that wasn't doing well and I got frustrated. And then that was the app where I was spending the most time on. And phone addiction is a fucking real thing in my life right now. I was like, I need to get the fuck off this. I need to delete TikTok. And then that one would happen. I remember I got screenshots from my friends where when they had taken it down, the message that came up for them was like, due to law, whatever, TikTok has been banned in the United States. We hope to coordinate with President Trump soon or something like that. It's like, oh, I see where this is going. And then the day after.
The following day.
The day after.
I was literally, it's so funny. Same thing. Like I was sitting there and then we were all watching TV and here comes my nephew. You see they turned TikTok back on? He was like, really? Oh yeah, look at that.
What I thought was funny was they turned it off, but they forgot to put it back on the App Store for like a month. Mm-hmm. So then my friends were telling me about it. I was like, no fucking way. I go onto eBay. There are aftermarket or like not black market, but like just these scalping listings for iPhones and Androids that have TikTok on it still going for thousands. Yeah. And people were fucking buying them.
Well, you remember what happened with Flappy Bird? Do you remember that?
Oh my God.
When they got taken down?
Yes.
Yeah, same thing, bro.
People were selling their iPod Touches and their iPhones that had Flappy. Dude, I forgot all about that.
Flappy Bird was literally doing that shit back in like you could probably still do it now. You could probably find somebody who's selling their like honestly for like what, maybe like 5,000.
I don't like pulling up my phone during a fucking podcast, but I guarantee you're right.
You kind of want to know, right? Flappy Bird. If you guys don't know what Flappy Bird is, this game you literally just used to tap your screen and the bird would like jump through pipes up and down, right?
Original Flappy Bird. So this is on an iPhone or iPod Touch that has like the brick plug-in.
Yeah.
$700 with $50 of shipping.
Crazy. Definitely not 5,000, but $700 for an old iPod is wild.
Insane.
I still have my iPod Touch.
Do you really?
Yes. Every now and then I turn it on just to kind of get the nostalgia of like what was I going through at the time. I think the funniest picture on there, I haven't told anybody this, so I want you to feel special, Noah. The funniest picture on there is when I was like a freshman in college and I took the biggest shit ever. And I wanted to share it with my friends, bro. I wanted to share that shit so bad because it was like legit, you guys, like unfolded at least maybe 2 feet.
Jesus
It was
Christ.
solid, all in one link, like just balled up in my toilet. And I was like, that's impressive. And I took a picture. And you know what's so crazy? I even made sure to wipe so they saw the tissue in there in the picture. I was like, I want y'all to know I'm not nasty and just was like, let me grab my iPod and take this. No. I wiped my ass first.
Threw some confetti on it to make sure.
Right? I want them to know, like, hey, I wiped my ass, then I took the picture.
They weren't standing with mud butt.
bro. And you know what's so crazy is every time I try and go to delete that, I'm like, I can't, man. It's just that's the moment in time where I was like, this is what I was on when I was a freshman. You know, fresh out of high school, like how goofy were you as a freshman in college? And that's the one that reminds me, like, I was a fucking goofball.
I don't think I have any artifacts like that, but I think about myself as because I'm a way different person. Thank God. Thank God I'm a different person because I turned 28 this year. So 10 years ago, thank God I'm a different person because son of a bitch, dude, it was bad.
Bro, I was horrible.
Socially awkward. I had a great set of friends. A lot of them I still hang out with and talk to every day now. I'm very thankful for that. Yeah. But I mean, because I went to high school at a military college. So just growing up in that, and my brain was like, all I'm going to do with my life is the military, and I'm going to do all that. I think back to the way I was, and I was like, thank God for mushrooms. Thank God for mushrooms.
Bro, I think back to those times and I laugh. Because like you said, you know, you had good friends around you, but I was like less aware of the world. I was so like in my shell still. I didn't understand so much. Like I didn't actually do comedy until like I turned 20. Okay. So I was still in college. I only did it because I had been wanting to try it for so long. And everybody's like, yeah, we have an open mic here. But there was never an open mic where I went to college. So I was like, when's the open mic supposed to happen?
Where'd you go to college at?
New Mexico Highlands.
Oh, no shit. Okay.
Yeah. So
that's in
Las Vegas.
Vegas, right? Oh, yeah. Dude, there ain't shit in Vegas now.
Bro. Yeah, actually, you know what? There's shit in Vegas. Las Vegas, New Mexico. I love you guys. There's shit in Vegas now.
Like
when I first got there, bro, there wasn't shit. There's a drive-in movie theater. There's a regular movie theater. There's now like there's a bar that's actually pretty cool for college kids on the weekends. You know what I mean? Shit. Like before, like you couldn't. When I first got there, they'd be like, "Yeah, don't go out." Why? Well, because the locals don't really like us. Now they can actually go out.
So the rest of the world's in 2025 worried about genders. Vegas is still in like 1970, 1980.
Definitely 1965. Okay. Oh, fuck. It's a little dangerous sometimes. No, Vegas is cool now, but I just remember when I first got there, it was such a weird place because everybody treated it so like, nah, we don't fuck with them, they don't fuck with us, kind of. Right. But then like they started like kind of relaxing on the tension, so I was like, I don't know what happened. Like I don't know what marriage happened between some football athlete and a local like celebrity that just like brought the town and the college together, but like everybody's chill now. But
the hottest crackhead and the fourth string quarterback fucked, and like, there's just like, peace.
I don't know, man. It was something like out of nowhere. It all just calmed down. Like by the time I turned like 2021, there was no more tension in the city like that. You know what I mean? Like you could tell. Like everybody was like, it's. So
people can change. Is what you're saying.
Basically, man.
Communities can heal.
Dude, I don't know what happened. I don't know what great dance party or like, you know what I mean? I don't know what fucking high school football team won state.
Well, have you seen that the Gillian Keeves from Shane Gillis? Have you seen that on YouTube? Oh, dude, it's so good. So it's sketch comedy. Yeah. It's like right after he got fired from SNL, and him and his buddies were like, we're just going to do sketch comedy on YouTube for ourselves, and it exploded. But they have this one where Shane Gillis plays I think he's like an assistant or like a co-coach or whatever for a local high school basketball team, and it's all white kids, and they're like the best in like their county or whatever, and they go up against a black team and they get fucking dominated, right? And there's like they're trying to make him have black kids on the basketball team, and he's like, I don't know, and they finally do it, and he's like, oh boy, we finally won, we finally beat them.
Oh my god, bro,
it's good,
bro. Yeah, that motherfucker's funny, man.
It's good. Yeah, but yeah, man, back then I was like super military, super supportive of the war in Iraq. Super thought I was like, fuck those terrorists, dude. I
get that part, but I don't think anybody was like supportive. Like, yeah, let's go keep.
Yeah, oh yeah, dude.
Well, you wanted to be over there.
Oh yeah, me and all my buddies were like, fuck those dudes. They knocked down the towers. Who cares what happened beforehand? They knocked down the towers.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I feel you, bro. Like, yeah, because as soon as I saw it, I was like at the time in what like first or second grade, right? Yeah. And my dad's in the military, so like trust me, I was immediately like, oh, we going to war. Like I already knew what it was.
Yeah, me and all my
like I you guys wanted it.
Oh yeah, like the way I referred to it now is like if you were in middle school or high school between like 2006 to 2000 16, 17.
Yeah.
That's like the Call of Duty generation.
Yeah.
You're growing up on those video games. All your buddies love them. You're getting them
Yeah.
every November.
Yeah.
And especially like the Modern Warfare games, dude.
Bro, going
I'm
crazy.
gonna go get a fucking M4 and go get those fucking high jobs, motherfucker. And then now I look back on it, I'm like, oh.
You were hyped up, bro. You were hyped up on patriotism.
Fuck yeah,
Nah, I
dude.
don't blame you, brother. Like, honestly,
yeah?
I don't blame you because, like, so my brother, he actually joined. He didn't go like full army. He joined the reserves just because, like, he was like, just something to help out. He felt good about it. But at the same time, like, I feel like you, him, I want to say everybody. They like even like comedians now. Like, there's so many comedians who are just like, oh yeah, man, I joined like right after high school, and it's just like, it's crazy to me, bro. Because I'm not gonna lie to you. I think for me, what it was is like, a lot of people in my family were in the military. My great uncle came back from Vietnam, and he was so messed up that like it was crazy to see for me, right?
Did he talk about it much?
That's the thing. He couldn't. Like he was. Okay. That's how like mentally he was too gone. My granddaddy went to Vietnam. He told me a little bit about it, and he was still very like didn't really want to talk about it.
Did they ever talk about like not necessarily the war, but like what it was like coming back?
Yeah.
From the war, they talk to you about that.
Yeah. The adjustment?
Well, not just the adjustment of coming from a war zone back to America, but specifically how black soldiers were treated when they came back.
Like shit.
It's insane. Like, and that's a part of our history that not a lot of people talk about.
Yeah.
People look at Vietnam and they talk about, like the Gulf of Tonkin. They talk about the amount of dead on both sides. They talk about how, we really shouldn't have been over there based on a bunch of different reasons, and like what was going on with the French, with Nixon at the time, and why like we actually kind of had beef with the French at the time because of like getting off the gold standard, what that all led to because of what the French had proposed to us. But through all of that, they don't really talk about like, because again, you had people, specifically black soldiers, going over there. Mm-hmm. Just like everyone else, being forced to fight for their country, and then they came back to segregation. Mm-hmm. They came back in the middle of the civil rights movement. And then, because MLK got assassinated in 67, 68?
Yeah.
Around there?
Yeah.
So then they're coming back to all of that happening. And that's shortly after Kennedy gets assassinated. And just the treatment that they because all Vietnam, well, not all, but most Vietnam soldiers got treated pretty poorly when they came back, but specifically like the black soldiers. Did they ever talk to you about that?
Just a little bit, because my granddaddy, he's from Tennessee, and so like he definitely like. I hate to say it, my granddaddy was low key like fuck white people. Yeah, and like I don't blame him from like the way he tells me like, or like at least the way it was explained to me, like white people always kind of like shitted on black people his entire life. So he just as he got older, he just never cared for white people. Right. Yeah. Which I mean, I didn't blame him. Like I always like looked at it as like that was because of what you went through, kind of thing. Like you just had that animosity towards people because you had the same, basically the same bully. You know what I mean? Like they got the same build. Just a white dude always being down on you, or like white people always being down on you. So I get where he like came from with it, but like yeah, listen to like stories like even my great grandfather telling the story about when he first moved to Illinois. So he loaded up my granny and all her sisters, everybody, they all got in the car, and he just rode with a shotgun from Tennessee all the way up to Decatur. And it's just thinking like, that's crazy that you had to, like, you know what I mean? Like you had to, like, because if you did run into a Klan, like, what was you going to do? Like, you just going to let them take your kids, do whatever they wanted? No, you going to shoot. Right. Know? So it's just, even if you run into like mess up police officers, you know what I mean? Like, even my dad as a kid, like, he tells me stuff all the time, like, yeah, like it's crazy to see where we're at now in 2025 compared to like what they grew up at. Even like when I look at like how I grew up, you know what I mean? Like it was just like black and like white really wasn't an issue for most kids or like most people my age when they were kids.
Where did you grow up originally?
Illinois.
Illinois, okay, right.
You know what I mean? Right. So like by then adults were really fucked up, right? But kids for the most part, you were just like, you know, like you don't really see it in schools as much as you did back then. Right. You know? Like, of course, you might have a teacher or somebody who's a little fucked up, but
yeah. Well, because kids aren't innately born with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not innately born with an instinct to.
But they were raised that way. Exactly. Back then.
And then a lot of it too, I'd imagine, is of course you have people that are just racist. Like you have that. In every group of people, you just have racist individuals. But then you also have, I'd imagine, the majority of individuals, especially during that time they're growing up, and where they're just teaching their kids, hey, unfortunately, this is how the world is right now. This is how I got treated. It's like I treated as a kid. It's like I treated yesterday. This is how shit is. Watch out for X, Y, and Z. If you're in this type of situation, whatever.
Yeah.
And then after a while, I'd imagine it just kind of builds up and builds up. And then when all of that gets confirmed, it's like, well, like you were talking about earlier with your grandparents, if they're, when they're traveling, and then your grandfather that eventually just got to the stage in his life where he's just like, yeah, fuck white people. It's like, yeah, you're getting this type of treatment from all points of contact, whether it's authority figures or like the local shop owner. Mm-hmm. That whole spectrum. So it's like, yeah, like, is it good? No, but like I get it. It's not a huge leap to understand why people fucking feel that way, especially at that time.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I don't know. It's I think back to how I was at that time. I was like, no, that's not good. And that's a big reason why I got out of the military. I started fucking took some mushrooms, cracked a couple books, did my own research. And I was like, oh shit, hey, wait a minute. Hey, 9/11 ain't good. That's not good that happened.
Yeah.
But there's a fucking reason it happened.
Well, just like, yeah. I feel like all wars, there's like some underlying like cause for a lot of them. Like when they first start, you know what I mean? Outside of really like what Hitler did to Jews, like there's like almost like something that made this country suddenly attack here, you know what I mean, or cause this moment, you know.
Well, even like even with that, like there's a lot more people starting to come up like a big proponent of this not argument, but
are we about to advocate for Hitler?
No, not at all. No, not at all. Not at all.
Had to ask. I was like, hey man,
no. It's the explanation of like why the chain of events happened. Yeah. Like really good. He doesn't call himself a historian, but he pretty much is. His name's Daryl Cooper. He's a super, super smart guy. And he just went on Rogan a couple weeks ago, and he went to Tucker Carlson, and he's been on Dave Smith's podcast a lot, and super smart guy. And the way he breaks it down, like for me, it's like I love history, but I'm also like, it's hard for me to like really retain a lot of small details. Yeah. So it's getting like the overarching like themes of what's going on, the breadcrumbs of what led to certain things. And, obviously what Hitler did was horrible, but when you look at Germany from the 20s going into the 30s, they're coming out of World War II or World War I. Mm-hmm. The Treaty of Versailles fucked them completely. They were getting foot with the bill of an entire world war. Up to that point, the worst thing that's ever happened to humanity. The Great Depression happens. Tanks there, because that's like a worldwide thing. A lot of people don't understand that. It's like, it's not just an American issue. Of course, we hear about it here in America because it's our country, but the Great Depression happened worldwide.
Yeah, everybody's economy was fucked up.
Exactly. And Germany had one of the worst because it was World War I, and then this happened, so it's like twofold. And then you have this fucking really great public speaker who loves the German people pop up and like, hey, that's the issue. And like, you know what? We need an issue to cling on to. And then just the cascade of events happen. It's like, yeah, like if you don't, like I would nowhere near so like obviously the fucking Holocaust happened. Obviously what happened was very terrible, and we need to defeat the Third Reich because good God, that's horrible. But if you don't understand why those things happened, or why those things happened the way they did, they're bound to repeat. History just tends to fucking repeat themselves.
Yeah.
So it's a fun thought experiment looking down the. Now you have to look that far back, just 100 years ago.
No, yeah, I was gonna say it's actually not that long ago.
It's really not.
Like people like to look at it as like history. Oh, that's so forever ago. That's so long ago. No, that's like there's still people alive who went through World War I. You know what I mean? Like they old as shit. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, they're old, but still, they remember that.
I don't know about World War I, but definitely World War II.
No. Probably not really went through it, huh? Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah. They'd probably be like, oh, I was born at that time. That was about it. Like, I remember after.
They'd be pushing 100 right now. So they're not born, not going through it, but yeah. But I get your point. Yeah. I mean, it's not that long ago.
Yeah, so. It's really not, man. Like, I look at that all the time. Even when people say, like, I forgot what it was. I saw something wild. It was, like, just for, like, women's rights. Like, they just got some right in, like, just the 90s. And I was like, that's insane. Like, to think, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, don't get me wrong, I was still, freshly born, whatever. But it's just you hear stuff like that, and like we're still at that point where it's like making history while like living. It's just you see it, and you're like, it's really not that long ago.
I will say, I am sick and fucking. I'm sure every generation has said this is not a novel thought, but I am sick and fucking tired of living through historical events every 3 months,
bro. Yeah, I thought what's so crazy, man. I think this is just the trend of the 20s, though. because like if you look at it, like the 20s in every century is shitty. So it's like, bro, like I think this is just the trend. Like we got to go through, like, fuck, we got COVID. What, they had the Spanish flu, I think, in like the 1820s. I don't know what the fuck the 1920s was. I mean, they were going through a whole bunch of other shit.
Well, I mean, that was the Great Depression.
Yeah, see, so it's like I just feel like, you know, every single fucking time.
I had a theory, and this definitely came to me when I was on mushrooms, but I had a theory that the grand cabal of like the deep state, whoever that is, that they just wanted things to hold out to figure out what happens at the end of Endgame. And because right after Endgame dropped, just things just fucking fell apart.
Bro.
Fell the fuck apart. That's how gripping Marvel was at the time. That even the guys at the top were like, okay, what happens next? Like do they beat Thanos?
Like what's up? Like, I need more. They're like, fine, you don't want to give it to me?
Yep. And then they saw WandaVision. They're like, nope. We're done. That's fine. Tank it.
Sick of the shit.
Dude, I just remember coming back from fucking deployment into COVID. Yeah. Like, what? Because we heard about it over there. Yeah. Where they were like coronavirus. And we were like, oh, a fucking beer flu? A bunch of pussies? What's wrong with you?
Bro.
And then just everything fucking shut down. Like,
everything.
Whoa.
Dude, that was the weirdest time in my life. I had just signed a lease into like my first, like, you know, just it's me, myself, and I in a 1-bedroom apartment, right? And I'm thinking like, oh, I'm finna be the man. I'm finna have the hoes coming through. Like, I'm feeling myself. Like, I'm thinking this is going to be a great time. I'm like, 2020, can't shit stop me. No, bro. COVID hit, and I was the loneliest fucking person. I was looking for any reason to get outside, bro. Like, any reason at all, man. I was so fucking just sad in the house all the time.
Were you here in New Mexico at that point?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Fucking birthday hit. I was like, this sucks. I was like, I can't do anything, man.
I remember talking to one of my friends, and she was like, she's like really big in like the country music and like the country concerts that come through. She's like, they're gonna cancel fucking this. I'm like, nah. Okay, listen. This is March. Okay, we're gonna have this shit wrapped up by like end of July at the latest. Nah, dude. Come on, we're gonna be okay. And then like November rolled around. I was like, oh man, we might actually. Ooh, we're going to be in this for a minute.
I feel like what finally did it is like they just got to the point where they're like, people are going and doing stuff regardless. Because I remember like literally the entire transition of that. Because like it started where they were like shutting everything down. You know, you got social distance, whatever. And then they started like telling people like you can't go outside. Like I remember the apartments I was living at, there was a basketball court right outside. And I saw some people playing one day. And then the next day they took the rims off. Like they were like, no.
Dude,
like,
in California, they filled skate parks with dirt.
Crazy.
To prevent COVID.
And then think about being the jackass who fills it with dirt just to later go back and be like, I gotta take all this shit out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I would have been pissed. Why fucking hire me?
Well, then my whole thing is like, okay, wait a minute. Okay, so let's think about like the process of having to you have to coordinate with someone. You have to buy the dirt. You have to go. You can't just send one guy to pick up the dirt. You got to get two people. Okay, what is that transmission?
Truck, like,
yeah, is that transmission? Are you sitting together? Or do you what are we doing here? Mm-hmm. What is this insanity that we're doing here? I don't know, man. That whole, and then like I remember there was like obviously different states handled it differently, but I think like in Massachusetts, it was a state government panel or like a state government like hearing they were doing whatever. They're trying to encourage people to get the vaccine, and a bunch of people were like, yeah, you get like they were giving out like gift cards in some states, or they're like giving out cash vouchers in some other states. This one state, they had this guy. He was sitting at like, because you know how like for the congressional meetings, they have like the panel, right? And they have the main dude in the middle. So the main dude in the middle, he's sitting there. And he had an old school like cardboard box with a burger and fries in it. And he was like, if you go get the vaccine, like the full like first panel, we're going to give you this voucher to some fucking local burger joint where you're going to get a free burger. You haven't seen this?
No.
Oh,
that's crazy.
My God.
And people just went and got it?
I don't know if it worked on anybody, but watch me find it real quick. Vaccine. I remember
that's fucking wild.
Yeah, so let me find it real quick. Yeah, here it is.
Free fries when you get vaccinated?
Okay. Okay, so this is New York. Of course, it's fucking New York. Bill de Blasio. Okay.
Free fries when you get vaccinated? I got vaccinated. You're saying I could get this? You delicious fries? Wait a minute. But there's also a burger element to this?
Get the fuck out of here.
Let me check with Bill Neathart. Is it too early in the day to eat a burger? No. This could be breakfast? Okay.
Get the... Bro.
I want you to look at this and think about, again, Some people love hamburgers, some don't. Really want to respect all ways of life. But if this is appealing to you, just think of this when you think of vaccination.
Vax and a side of fries.
I'm getting a very good feeling.
If I'm in that room, I'm throwing something at that man, bro. Like, what? Because get the vaccination, you can get this free combo.
Well, because first of all, he's clearly never seen or appreciated Pulp Fiction, because their burgers don't have a time frame.
Yeah,
burgers are an all day, 2 in the afternoon, 2 in the morning, 9 in the morning burger time. However, we were talking about earlier about, history was not that long ago. I feel like a lot of people forgot how crazy that part of our history was 5 years ago.
Yeah,
that shit happened.
Yeah,
blows my fucking mind.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, you know what's so crazy? And I signed up for the vaccination too. And the only reason I did it is because I was like, fuck, I'm going to Rolling Loud, and I had 2 options. I could either wait in this fucking line to do a COVID test every day of the festival,
which is probably fucking insane.
Bro, that line was ridiculous.
You're getting COVID in the line.
In the fucking line.
Yeah.
Or I could just take this shot, and it was at the time, they were like, we really only require the one. Like, as long as you got the first one, like, you're good. I was like, bet. I was like, let's do it, bro.
It's like shit like this. Like regardless how you feel about all of the stuff surrounding that, we can agree that advertising a burger and fries to get any kind of medicine is insane, because inherently to your health, a burger and fries is not good. A. B. Just saying you need one series of a full medicine to get into a mass crowded event. Insane. Dude, I remember because I was still in the military, and we were in our morning formation for one of our drills, and at the time they were like, it was, if you had the vaccine, you had to carry like the vaccination card on you, and then you didn't have to wear a mask, and then if you were unvaccinated, you had to wear a mask and whatever. And they were like, remember information, like, all right, everyone pull out their vaccine cards. I'm like, okay, pull them out. One guy didn't have his, he had lost it because they gave it to us on these little like it was the same paper they make the Social Security cards out of, I swear. It was flimsy as shit. It was bad. And he had lost his. And of course our fucking users were smart enough to make copies of it. And that's when they did end up making copies of it down the road. They lost all of them. So that's insane. Yeah. Oh yeah. Insane. Anyway.
They didn't lose them. They were selling those bad
boys. Right.
Oh man, we don't know what happened to this box of COVID vaccine cards.
Well, there were definitely dudes. I'm not going to fucking say who, but there were definitely dudes in the guard here who got their hands on blank vaccine forms and just filled them shits out and turned them in, which I respect the fucking hustle. But I remember we were in formation, and our platoon sergeant, he was like, all right, pull him out. I was like, hey, where's your card at? And he goes, oh, I left it at my house. And they're like, well, you can't go, because again, we had retarded policies for the sake of having retarded policies. You know what I mean? And they're like, he goes, well, we can't go fucking get it. He's like, okay, well, what do I do? He goes, well, you need proof of vaccination. He goes, well, it's at my house. Like, okay, well, you can't go fucking get it. You lost it. That sucks. He goes, well, like jokingly, well, I don't have to get the vaccine again, do I? And he goes, maybe. As serious as humanly possible. He goes, maybe. And we all look, we're in the back, we're each like, I don't think that's how that works.
That's definitely not how a vaccine works. You might have to go get in line again, man. Sorry.
Oh, dude, it was fucking.
Man, if they would have came back out again. Well, they always tell you, like, because low key, maybe that is how it works. Like boosters and shit with fucking COVID.
I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but I'm not convinced.
I don't know, man. I'm just at the point where I was like, I really want to see this. It was fucking J. Cole, man. I'm getting the fucking shot, bro. I'm sorry. Like, you know what?
Hey, we all get motivated differently. Right? There were definitely, there were definitely dudes out there that were trying to get with a chick. And the chick was like, are you vaccinated? And he was like, shit, maybe.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
I might be. And a few of them asked for proof, too. They asked for COVID proof before they asked for STD proof. That happened.
It's so crazy. The number of women who have asked me if I'm vaccinated before asking me if I've had an STD is kind of astounding. I'm not going to lie to you. It's insanity. Like, that's really the question. Like, it's, first of all, Albuquerque, New Mexico, there's STDs going around all the time.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean,
dude. I'm still working on it because I have a problem with this in stand up where I know how I come off generally, and the longer the beard gets, the more like the word that comes to mind. It's intimidating. It's not intimidating. It's like aggressive. You know what I mean? I can be aggressive on stage, so I'm trying to work on that.
Smile.
But then also just write. See, I have to remind myself to smile. That's a very good point. But then a lot of it too is like I have a very dark sense of humor, so I'm trying to like.
You really gotta smile.
Yeah. So I gotta like.
imagine.
Well, then you also have somebody, Anthony Jeselnik. That motherfucker does not smile at all, and he talks about everything.
Yes. Yeah.
Everything. But my point is like I have a dark sense of humor. I can look aggressive on stage. So I'm trying to like figure out how to like be so tightly written, smartly, whatever. But fucking Buck, he shared this post on his page like months ago. I've been writing a joke about it where it was this woman, didn't out the person, didn't say who it was, but she was like, I know somebody, she's one of my close friends that is running around. She is positive for AIDS. And she is giving it to people in Albuquerque willy-nilly. If you're seeing this, go get tested. And I'm reading this and I'm like, oh, there's no fucking way. When he first shared it, it was like 3 hours ago posted on her side. And it was like 6,000 shares or something like that. It was pretty, whatever. But then I remember looking at it a few hours later and it clocked up to like 13,000. And I looked at it at the end of my workday and it was deleted off Facebook. So I was like, okay, either she's lying or that chick hit her back like, I'll kill you, which is crazy anyway. But yeah, that reaction you just had, that's the reaction I had. I was like, okay, well, I'm with someone, so I'm not sleeping around, so I know I'm safe, A. And B, that's material waiting to happen right there.
Bro, that's just insane. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I need you to drop a name like immediately.
Right?
Like, I need a name.
Hey, wouldn't you be doing a public service?
Yeah, I think so. Like, don't get me wrong, I get it, privacy and everything.
Nah, HIPAA falls off when you're fucking.
No. It's no longer HIPAA because that's not her doctor. Fuck HIPAA. That's not her doctor. That bitch found she heard some valuable information for the community. She is now a civil servant. HIPAA. We're not worried about HIPAA.
Anyone who gets infected and reports gets a Purple Heart. That's what happened.
Immediately. You get to go meet the fucking president or something. Shit. You need a night at the governor's mansion. Something. Like, hey.
Oh, God. Isn't that insane?
There's no way. Like, that's like, because I'm not going to lie to you. If one of my friends ever told me they had something and they were out here willingly pass it around, first off, bro, I might swing on you. Like, nah, bro, like, we got to fight. Like, something like, you need to understand the consequences of your actions.
Yeah.
2, yeah, I'm letting everybody, like, all the bitches I know you fuck with, yeah, I'm telling them. I'm not even going to lie to you. Hey, hate me for it all you want, fellas. If you are willingly out here passing around any type of STD, STI, fuck you. Fuck everything you stand for. And yes, I will snitch on you. I will.
That's cosign too.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like,
I don't even think it's that controversial. It's just like, that's probably not something you should be doing.
Yeah, like if I ever, like, no, like I'm not keeping that secret. I'm telling everybody you fuck with, like, hey, don't do it. I'm telling you right now, go get tested. I just learned some info.
You start rethinking every drink you shared.
Bro, all
every
of them,
cigarette,
everything,
bro,
everything, man. Like, I'm taking that moment to stop and be like, nah, bro, like,
where did I fuck up?
Yeah, exactly. Like, look, man, like, either you can start telling people or I'm gonna start telling people, because now I feel like I'm too close to you to feel like I need to go get tested now. You don't even, like, you probably can't even give it to me. You know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, like, shit, like, I feel like just standing next to you, I'm a dirty dick nigga. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's crazy.
Like, we shared an Xbox controller 3 weeks ago. Is that gonna
exactly
do it?
Like, it's like fentanyl. It just gotta touch your skin. I'm scared. Like, now I'm paranoid and shit.
Okay, so what I've read were like fentanyl isn't transdermal.
Honestly, I don't know.
I'm not saying you want to go around touching it.
Yeah, no. Only reason I believe that it is because when I worked for Enterprise, we would get cars where if there was any trace of fentanyl in the car, it's totaled.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So, like, I don't know, but I just remember those occasions. Like, that's why I think it's transdermal.
What would you do with the car?
Totaled.
Right. Like, so you would give it to or you send it off to a junkyard or what?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, we sell it. We scrap it for the parts we can, and then that's it.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, that car's gone. I want to say it's happened at least when I was there working at the airport location, like 2-3 times.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
How long were you working there for?
Enterprise, I was there, 2018 to like 22, maybe 21.
Oh, shit. Not that much, but still enough to fucking, holy shit. Yeah. No way.
To see some shit. It was crazy, man. Like, Working for Enterprise was probably one of the best experiences and also the worst at the same time. Because
Why
it's
is that?
customer service, so like people suck ass. Like
Yeah.
people are dicks. Like stop being dicks to people when you go out. There's really no point. Like unless somebody's being a dick to you, there's no point to be a dick with a worker. You know what I mean?
No, I agree, and it feels good to be nice to people.
It does.
It
Especially
feels
if you
good.
see them already in a shitty situation. Like if you see there's no fucking cars out here, but it's 3 people ahead of you, you gonna be the 4th person to get to me and be like, fuck you. You know what I mean? That's who you want to be. But like also just like the job itself, like you learn so much about dealing with people, and then all the stuff that you like see that goes on with like these rental cars and like behind the scenes of like a job. Because Enterprise is one of those places where like you think like you know when you're working with your job, like there's stuff going on that you don't really see. Right. Enterprise is so transparent with their workers. You find out so much stuff. You know what I mean? Like even if it's not on purpose, they really don't care to tell you. You know what I mean? So it's like they're like like, oh well, you found out. Like that's how Enterprise is. So I learned a lot just because they were so open, like, and like just everything was on the table. But yeah, we would see all kinds of crazy stuff. I remember one time this dude was like, yeah, we actually picked this car up on I-40. It said you guys were the closest location. And I was like, what do you mean picked it up? He was like, oh, I'm sorry. Flashes me his gun and badge. This dude's an FBI agent. Bro. He was like, yeah, we're just dropping it off. You guys were the closest location. We're like, thanks.
Yeah, for sure, dude. So I work as a recruiter for a security company, and one of the rare times that I stay late at the office. I was working, and I hear like we have a bell up in the front. And I'm the only one there, and it dings. I'm like, what the fuck? It's like 5:45. What the fuck? Mm-hmm. And I go up. I looked at my wrong wrist. Oh my god. Anyway, so I go up there. So I am like, hey, how's it going? There's people in like plain clothes, like slacks. They come out of like a regular office. It's like, hey, what can I do for you guys? I thought they were coming in for a job, and they flashed their badges. I'm like, oh fuck, hey, what's up? I thought because this is like a big company that I work for, so I thought like this is it. You know, this is the fraud scheme. Like it's in our branch, we're fucked. Like, and he goes, we need to talk to you about somebody that may be working for your company. I was like, okay, what the fuck? So we went back, and I look up the person, and he's like, no, he's done work for us. He's applied a few times, and he goes, okay, did you hire him for anything? And I'm like, no, I did not hire him for. I'm like checking my records. I'm like, fuck, I hope I didn't hire him for anything.
All right.
And he goes, I'm like, no, I don't hire for anything. And the guy goes, okay, well, if he, because he had like a license to be an armed security guard. Mm-hmm. And he goes, well, if he applies for anything, let me know. I'm like, is this guy a danger or is he like a problem? He's like, don't worry about it. And I'm like, okay. Okay, fucking FBI. Like, I guess I'm like, should I like, who should I tell about this? He goes, nobody. Just keep it to yourself. He says, you're the recruiter, right? Like, it's your job. Is anybody else hire people in this office? I'm like, no, we have like a manager, like a branch manager. Should I tell him? He's like, nope. I'm like, all right. Well, I guess
I would have been nervous as shit.
I was like, what the fuck? I was like, have you like spoken to this guy? I'm like, yeah, I've made like a couple of phone calls, but he never answered.
Yeah.
I was like, am I in trouble? He's like, nope. No, if you hire him, you will. He goes, hey, this is the last thing he said to me before. He goes, if you hire him, you will be. And I'm like, okay. And I remember it was fine. And then like 2 weeks later, the guy like reapplied to our office. And I called like the number they gave me, it just went to like some like some, not like a call center, but it went to like somebody who like directs calls, like probably like a reception or some shit. Yeah. So I want to talk to this person. Let him know. He's like, oh, that person. I'm like, yeah. He goes, okay, I'll let them know. Yeah, we and then she like let it slip. Like, yeah, we've been looking for him, and then hung up. I'm like, oh, okay. Okay.
You're just holding the phone to your head, still like listening to the dial tone, and you're just stuck. Dude. I can imagine, bro.
And I was like, all right, I guess that's it.
Yeah,
but
that'll happen too.
So what, like, I am curious, what got you into comedy? So you said you did it when you were 20 years old, or thinking about it at 20 years old.
So I've been a fan of comedy probably since I was a kid, because like, you know how like people stay up and they watch stuff they shouldn't, right? My thing was Comedy Central, so I would see all these stand-ups come on, and then like the one I used to watch a lot was Kevin Hart's Grown Little Man. I think that was like his best stand-up, because that was his first ever, and like that was like when he really turned himself into like Kevin Hart. But then I got on the Shaq All-Star Comedy Jams, and I started following all these different people. And then finally I started like remembering like when I was a kid, like BET and Comic View and stuff. So one of my friends was like, bro, you should start watching the Def Jam stuff, because I hadn't done comedy yet, but I had told one of my friends I wanted to. This is like when I was a freshman in college. So he put me on the Def Jam, and then I was like, yeah, that's right. Bernie Mac was like one of the best. And then I remembered the Kings of Comedy as well. So I went back and started watching those again, and like just kept like looking at it more and more. And I was like, that's what I want to do. And I was just like, man, if I could do that, that would be it. Like, you know what I mean? Like I tell people all the time, like if I realistically look at it, it wouldn't take much for me to quit my job and do comedy full time. It would just be the comfort knowing like my bills are paid. But the thing about comedy is that there's no comfort in knowing your bills are paid. That's why comedy is like, that's why people become great, because they have to work so hard to make sure, you know what I mean? So I tell myself I'm never going to find a comfort where I feel like, yeah, everything's taken care of. Like I feel like if I do comedy, I'm always be penny pinching. But like, that's what really drove me for it, is like, I was just like kept watching them. And then so finally I did it one time, like my junior year of college. I was like 20 years old, and we had a homecoming pageant. I ran for homecoming king. So I was like, I got to have a talent. And everybody's like, oh, we can help you. Like, so I knew a bunch of like, that was one thing that was nice about Highlands. It was a smaller college. So I knew like a bunch of like the softball girls and like random like track girls, like just random people who would be willing to help me. Right. And so they was all like, we can come up with a dance routine. And I was like, nah, I don't want to do a dance routine. And like, what's crazy is like all my friends, all the homies was like, nigga, what you mean you don't want to do a dance routine? You know what I mean? Like, bro, like, look, that's a...
Okay, how many black kids were at this school, though?
At Highlands?
Yeah.
Bro, the entire football team, basketball team.
No shit.
Yeah. It was actually... And then even just kids who weren't playing sports, they just went to Highlands.
No shit.
Bro, I say Highland, the university was probably... So New Mexico is like, what, 3% black?
Yeah.
Highland as a university was probably at least like... I'd say... from what it felt like for me, just based off of all the people I saw, at least like 10 to 20.
No shit.
Yeah, at least. It was a lot of black kids that went there. Highlands, they recruit from like California, Arizona, Colorado. They actually go and send like representatives to these schools around. So Highlands gets a good mix. They even get like, if you go up there, I hope it's still there. They have this like, I forgot what they call it, but basically it's this like flag circle, and it's all the different nations of students who've attended Highlands.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, man, so all my friends were like, bro, what you mean? Like, what's up? Like, we gonna do a dance number? I'm like, no, we not. Like, you know when you fuck up the play for your homies and they kind of like, hey, bro, what the fuck? Like, nigga, what you mean we not doing a dance number? I ain't never seen so many dudes so like pressed to do a dance, but I get it. Like, I get it. You know what I mean? Because it's, you know, we're a bunch of horny college kids. Like, hell yeah, like we gonna get some of them. They gonna help us. We all gonna be hanging out. We not even gonna actually learn to dance.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be kicking.
This is all a farce. We're playing a game
man,
here.
I was like, who really gonna? Cause like when I looked at it, I was like, who's really gonna come up with these steps? I'm not. Anybody else? Anybody else wanna be a choreographer? No. You guys, I know what you guys want.
You've seen Step Up 2 times. You're not a dancer, man.
Right? Like, that's it, man. So in my head, I was like, I'm not doing that. Because I was like, I don't feel like that's just not what I wanted to do. So I was like, everybody was like, what's going to be your talent? What's going to be your talent? And it wasn't until maybe like 2 days before. I finally said it. I was like, I'm going to do comedy. And somebody was like, what? I was like, I'm going to do stand-up comedy. And then somebody was like, I've only seen one person do stand-up comedy for the homecoming pageant. I was like, did they win? No.
Fuck no, they did. They gave a TED Talk for 10 to 12 minutes.
Bro, so I heard that, and I was like, okay, well, that means I could be the first one, you know?
That competitive side came out.
Yeah, so I was like, it's whatever. But so I was in a class where basically I already knew what we were going to be doing. We were basically going over a case study. It was business law. So I already knew like what's going to be happening. I sat in the back of the class that day. I knew I didn't have a speaking like part for this case. So I just wrote out my entire set word for word.
Do you remember what you talked about or what you joked about?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, did you talk or did you joke? How'd it go?
Like kind of how I tell jokes now, almost like story like, because that's what I have always seen comedy is that I've never ever, I didn't even understand like the idea of like set up punt. Like I always thought like stand up comedians, like the greats, it's storytelling.
Well, the best. I mean, like there's not one way to do it because you do have like. Yeah. You know, Jesselnick, Dave Attell, Mark Norman, where they are the, you know, set up punch tag, where they're just punching you in it's like speed bag. Yeah. The whole time, it's joke after joke after joke. But then you do have like, I mean, for me, my favorite, my go-to Dave Chappelle. Yeah. Where you have like him, where it's like he can do that. It's still in the storytelling form where he can just hit you with jokes and jokes and jokes and jokes. But then you also see some of his specials where it's like a 3-minute setup to a huge punch. There's so many different ways, but I feel like for me, kind of like you were saying, the best comedians are the ones where they're not like, you're there to tell or to watch a comedy show, but they're like it's a conversation that's happening, but it happens to be one-sided, and they just happen to be the funniest ones in the room. It's all a conversation with you.
Yeah,
but you're silent the whole time. And I feel that. Yeah.
And it's crazy because like I feel like that's whenever I think about doing shows, that's what I want to do. But I'm like, man, I'm not a great storyteller yet. Is how I look at it. Like I can tell, like, and people tell me all the time, like, you're such a good storyteller. You look so like good, like the way you draw people in, stuff. Like, you know, people give me all these compliments, but I'm like, no, like the greatest storytellers are the ones like you said, Dave Chappelle, and like Dave Chappelle is probably like I tell people all the time, I got like a top 3 because it's tough for me to choose between these 3, but it's Dave Chappelle, Martin Lawrence, and Bernie Mac, where I say like those 3, like I don't think there's anybody who can like go on after them and make them feel like they didn't just kill this crowd. You know what I mean? Who like every time you see them go on stage, like I feel like they get the most laughter out of anybody.
They
like,
bring it dry.
Yeah, like it's crazy. So they're my like top 3, but yeah, so that's just where I'm like at. So when I went up there for the homecoming pageant, the talent show part, so it was at the time I had dreads like down to my shoulders. Yeah, bro. I had on. I remember what I wore. I want to say it was like this blue flannel, like real casual. Cause that's one thing I always picked up on is comedians never wear, like something I noticed a lot of comedians, like they're not up there in Jordans. They're not up there, you know, in like big ass Gucci stuff. Sometimes they are just to like bring some attention, maybe to like say something about what they're wearing. But most of the time they're in something very plain and casual. So I was trying to go for like a plain casual look, like dressed down. So I did that. And I went up there. I told this joke about how people always confused me for Chief Keef because he was hot at the time. Then I went into another joke. About my girlfriend and how like dating the Mexican, or how like black women are crazy, but Mexican women are insane, something like that, right? And just how like I had a dream, or she had a dream that I cheated. And she slapped me and woke me up. Was like, who is that bitch? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, whatever, like, cheesy joke. But then I finished it off with a story about how I was the DD for my friends. And one of them spilled the beer in the car. We got pulled over. The cop's like, have you been drinking? And he looks at me. He's like, you look familiar. And I pretend to be Chief Keef. And that's where I end the set. And it was actually a really good set. I got a lot of laughs. All my friends laughed at it and everything. But only one Prince. So... wasn't great enough.
Only one. Who beat you?
The fucking wrestling team captain, bro.
What do you do?
He bro. Easton, you son of a bitch. Because, like, I'm not going to lie to you. Like, it was a wonderful idea because he's a wrestler. It made sense. He got a bunch of the mats, and he got a bunch of his friends to put on, like, rival team wrestling outfits. Like, basically, like, just draw on.
Oh, and he
like,
just dominated, like,
he
all
just
of them.
slamming them on the mats different kinds of ways, bro.
He just did what he's been doing his entire life.
Yeah, actually, no lie. That dude, he was really cool. He was, like, he went to like the Olympic trials or something. Like he was actually a fire wrestler. Like I want to say like All-American dude. And it's so crazy in this small town, the people you meet, bro. Like to this day, I think the wildest part of my college experience is going to the Mexico Highlands, playing rugby, and then we won a national championship.
Oh,
and I was like, exactly, bro. Like, because all the places.
Because rugby is like the giant football, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, no pads, no helmet, just smacking into people.
My second year on the team, and we had some of the craziest athletes I've ever seen on a field, dude. And these dudes were like, and me. So I'm like, I like to think like, yeah, I'm really athletic. But then I'm like, nah, those like, so here's how athletic and how great these dudes were. And like, shout out to my rugby team. These dudes were like, to this day, I think these dudes were just fucking studs on the field. Our captain went on to become the captain for the USA Olympic team.
Oh, fuck.
That's greatness, bro.
That's insane.
Like, and I'm really not trying to dick ride him, but it's the wildest experience to me. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, bro.
Okay, I gotta ask, because again, you were very slender build. How the fuck were you taking hits like that?
You know, it's so wild. I'm slender build, but I also grew up with 4 older brothers who just used to I'm used to being roughed up. Like, it didn't bother me. So, like, seeing these dudes on a rugby field, and I think it's crazy because, like, to this day, I still will stand next to people and like they'll be like, "You play rugby?" And I'm like, "Yeah," and they're like, "No way," and I'm like, "I get it," you know what I mean? I'm not in that same shape, but back then, like, imagine me just super cut up, you know what I mean? Like for no reason. So that helped out a lot, as I was insanely in shape, and then so like the dudes I'm tackling, like. Yeah, they're giant, but like if you form tackle, you could tackle anybody.
I was gonna say too. I would imagine now that I'm thinking about it with rugby, you could because you don't have all the padding, you're a lot more conscious about how you're hitting, where you're hitting. There's a lot less brute force in the equation, and it's more how do I do it, the technique.
Yeah.
And it's almost like jiu-jitsu in that way, where the little guy can take down the big guy when the proper form and the proper techniques and the proper skills are applied.
Yeah.
Rather than just with football. Not because there's a crazy amount of skill involved, obviously, but there's a reason the linebackers are built the way they are. There's a reason why Tom Brady's not a linebacker.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a reason.
No, yeah. Even when you look at running backs, there's a reason.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like fucking who is it? Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
Dude's a house. Derrick Henry, house. You know what I mean?
Brick shit house.
Yeah, like these dudes are big dudes. It's a reason though, you know, for that position. But yeah, rugby, you don't really need. It's not about size. It's just really skill.
Had you been interested in that or before going to college, or you just like, fuck it, I need a sport?
So, yeah, basically, I played once when I was in high school. A friend of mine was on my high school rugby team out here, and he was like, hey, come to a practice. But it was during track season. So I came to the one practice. We played a little bit. I was like, oh, it's cool. Like, it's fun. Like, it reminded me of football. I get it. You know what I mean? But I didn't really care for it past that. So then when I got to college, I wasn't playing basketball. I wasn't doing track. I wasn't finna walk on for football because I saw the way they treated walk-ons. Fuck that, man.
Just getting ragdolled all day?
Bro, like, you're basically just there to be hit. Like, that, fuck no.
Practice squad, get out here.
Basically, bro, like, I'm not finna do that shit. So then my frat brothers, one of them was the captain of the rugby team, and then a few of them played on the team. So they were like, come out, bro, just see if you like it. So I went to a practice. And they put me out on the wing, and I was a really good wing player. But then just like ideally, like at first it was just started like staying active, like something to do.
Yeah.
But then they started like putting me in the games, and I was like, I'm pretty good. Like I'm not bad. They used to rag on me all the time because like I ain't gonna lie to you, I used to play very like just like simple rugby. Like my thing wasn't like I didn't care, and like at the wing you have to care to score, but I didn't care to score. I just wanted possession.
So describe the wing. What is it? And to be completely honest, I don't know dick about rugby, so go into as much detail as you need.
So your wing is basically supposed to be, this is your speedster. This dude's supposed to like as soon as he touches the ball, take off, like no matter what, right? But my thing was like, yeah, I'm gonna take off, but it's just all the extras. Like I'm such like, that's why I like track. I'm straight away speed. Like I will get on a 100, cool, we can run whatever. Like that was my thing. That's why I really like track. It's just quick and like boom, just go. So like with rugby, you got to juke, you got to cut, you have no blocking. You know what I mean? You got to make the right decision. So my team used to always be on me because I didn't care to score at the wing, but I was just like, bro, y'all score all the time. Like literally, I would just hand it back to these dudes. I was like, y'all gonna go score? Like it's whatever, bro.
It's a fucked up game of hot potato.
Basically, because like my outside center, this dude, he went to play for the Rugby Pro League here in America, and he was. At the time, bro, I really can't think of a single person who really brought him down by themselves. You know what I mean? Like, it was just one of those guys, you give him the ball, he's about to go get you some meters. You know what I mean? He's getting up the field. So as soon as he would pass it to me, I get like right there to like the line of contact, and I'd just be like looking for him, and I just hit it to him on like a swing route or something. I'd be like, yeah, bro, go crazy. I'll come support you. I got you. Like whatever, do your thing. But yeah, so they used to always be on me like, hey, Jay, you need to do that, and I was just like, all right, you know. But at the same time, I never really got scored on, so I feel like that's what was a positive. Is like I wasn't afraid to get in somebody's way. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or to like go try and make that tackle. So I think I benefited a lot from them being on me. But at the same time, I was just like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, man. I liked being the playmaker. Like, you know what I mean? I like facilitation of the game. Like, I think that was my favorite part about it.
So how are you hitting people in a way that you're saving your head as much as humanly possible?
Oh, it's the way. So form tackling, and I don't think they teach this enough in football. A lot of head injuries could probably be prevented if they taught them how to form tackle. You're not supposed to like put your head across that person's body ever. You know what I mean? Like when you dive in front, like say you're coming this way, I'm going this way. My head should not be in front of you when I make contact. That's just I'm taking a thigh to the side of the head. You know what I mean? Right. What you want to do is get your head. So say like I'm tackling you right now, it's going to be on the side of your hip. You know what I mean? Like away from where all the moving parts, where I can wrap you around right here. So my shoulder should be hitting the front of your thigh, and my head, the side of your thigh going away from me. So I should be on your outside. So like if you're like running this way towards me, I want to come for this hip basically. I want to step right in between your legs, wrap you up, and then my head should be laid weirdly, but on your ass cheek. Basically.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, because it's like you're using your head. It's like you're a missile, and you're using your head to direct the body rather than just brute force take you down.
Yeah, because you can't even shoulder check in rugby.
No shit.
Yeah, you have to form tackle.
What's the reason for that?
Because we don't have pads.
Okay.
And it's also safer just in general, like for the game. So like we don't have pads, but in general, contact sports, shoulder checking and all that, like sending somebody flying, you got to think they're unprotected, like they're just flying through the air or whatever, or like just hit the ground however. So if you have to form, wrap up, and take somebody down, less likely for them to like hurt themselves.
Do you still do anything like athletic or do anything like
just the
gym, but
yeah, every now and then I try and go play basketball. I want to get back into rugby, but man, I tell myself it's not worth it in the end.
Yeah,
because long term, if I'm not getting paid,
what are you doing it for?
Yeah, exactly. I'm just beating my body up, and I meet so many dudes who are like only in their like 50s, and they're like, yeah, I can't really turn my neck, it's stiff.
They're like fucking Michael Keaton's Batman, just
bro.
Fucking...
Yeah, for real. So I'm like, it's not worth it to me. Like even my boy who went to play for the USA team, like he just retired this year, and he was actually saying that he was like, I'm not gonna play forever. Like he was like, that's like there's no point to that. And it's a dude on the team I think that's still playing, that's older than him, and I'm like, yeah, that's wild to see. You know what I mean?
Jesus.
Like some
like
people
on a national level, I'd assume he's playing, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, these dudes like the Olympics, they go play against like South Africa, England, New Zealand. They play against Wales. They played against what is that team? Kenya. They're like a lot of teams, bro. Like he's been everywhere. So it's pretty cool because like the first year I was still in college. A lot of us were still in college when he first went. So he's traveling with the team, sending us pics all the places. We like, bro, this lit. He's showing us on the jet. We like, oh shit, bro. We were so hyped for him, bro. Like that was definitely one of the coolest things to see like somebody make it to that next level. Cause like I already knew a lot of my teammates were gonna go play pro. I was like, there's no doubt. Like you guys are hands down some of the best players in the country. You know what I mean? Like props to them. But to see somebody make it to that national team and then to be the captain, it was just like, yo, that just goes to prove like we had a crazy, like we were just a squad. Like if, like the more we looked at it, we were just like, we really dominated small college rugby for no reason.
How much of that was raw talent and how much of that was clear direction and knowledge of the sport, knowledge of the game from the coaches that were around you?
The first year, pure just athleticism. And we took second at nationals. The years we won championships, that was definitely the coaching and mixed with that like athleticism. We were completely different players. Because even so my boy, he went to like the training camps for the USA team, and he would just pick up stuff from there and he'd bring it back. He was our captain, you know what I mean? So he's like, he's coming back. He's like, I'm not like playing for him yet, but they're showing me stuff. I'm learning this. He's like, hey, this is the workouts we finna do. So we were like, you know, so we were doing some crazy stuff. And then we had a coach. Rest in peace, actually. He just passed back in February. Bill Hayward, he played for the USA team too back when he was in like, I think that was like in the 90s.
Oh,
you know what I mean? So he, English dude, played rugby his whole life, played for the USA team, and then he came to New Mexico just because he liked the outdoors and all that. So he ended up being a professor at Highlands, coaching the rugby team. Literally, like, bro, when I say it's the wildest, like, it was literally the perfect storm for us to just go out there and do that. You know what I mean?
Holy shit.
Yeah. Him. Then we had Dick Green. Dick Green's been playing rugby, I think, since he said like a kid when he went over. He like went to, I forgot what that school is in England. I forgot how he got onto rugby, honestly. Like something. And then he came back here. Same thing. He actually started up one of the teams here in Albuquerque. Then he went to Highlands as a professor. Same thing. He started up a rugby team. And he had so much knowledge of the game. And that's why it's funny. He's always... Bro, this is why I say they used to be on me, because he'd come to practice. He'd be like, AJ, I love you. You're a great kid. You need to stop pussyfooting around. He'd be like, when you get that ball, son, I want you to go. And so I feel like I get it, bro. Like I do. But it's just like I see it, and then like they're coming to tackle me because like I draw so much attention. I was like, I'm 6 foot on the very outside, so people key in on me as soon as I touch the ball. So they're all coming for me, right? So I see it, and I'm just like, hey, there's this opening. Give it back to the guy. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Bro, go upfield. Like, let's get further upfield. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Like, my thing was just like, I'm not aggressive or hungry enough to score. I'm just always thinking about what's a good play to make right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I think for him, he was just like, I get it, AJ, but you know, we know you're fast. Like, come on, man. So, like, even when I was scoring games, they were like, damn it, about time. I was like, bro, like, look, man, I just, like, and it's funny. The only times I scored in games is when I was, like, feeling like we really needed somebody to score. And it's like, it's my job to score. I should go score. And then other times my mom was in the crowd. The only times I really wanted to like score, if my mom was there, I'd be like, yeah, I'm about to run this bitch in. I'm finna take off. I wanted her to see like, oh, my baby's great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I got to impress her. Other than that, I didn't care. Like, other people come to like games and stuff, I'd be like, eh.
Did she ever come to your stand-up shows?
No, but it's also because she just doesn't like the environment.
That's
unfortunately.
fair.
You know
That's
what I mean?
fair.
Like, I think whenever I get like opportunities when they're like in theaters and stuff, like she's usually down, but like she doesn't like bars, she doesn't like
That's fair.
drinking, smoking, so that's not her thing. But otherwise, yeah, like she came when what was it, Funny Fiesta? I want to say 2021 maybe, and they had a show at the box. She came to that. She sat through the whole thing. She loved it. She came to another show I did before that. You know, so like she supports. It's just like if it's at a bar, she's like, nah.
Bar shows are rough, dude.
Yeah, and I think that's why she doesn't want to come. She's
It's
like,
a
no.
rough environment. It's like, it's one thing if it's a comedy club, like that's where it's meant to be. Like theaters are dope. I've never been to an arena or like a stadium show like that. I'm sure it's great.
All right.
But, you know, comedy clubs are where comedy's supposed to be digested, where it's supposed to be performed. Bar shows are rough.
No, yeah.
You don't know, especially in Albuquerque, you don't know what the fuck's going to happen. 9 times out of 10, perfectly fine. Maybe a couple crazy hecklers. Deal with it. Don't deal with it. Whatever.
Yeah.
But every now and then you have a couple of fucking psychos like, oh, you talk about that? I'll see you outside. It's like, okay, well, all right, so I'm staying in the bar.
Yeah. I fucked up a show one time like that. And it's crazy because, like, if my mom ever came to a show and I had a heckler, like, yeah, my mom might say something to the heckler, but I'd be more afraid for the heckler at the end of the night because it's like, bro, you really think you're going to talk to my mom any kind of way? You know what I mean? Like, that's definitely not going to happen.
Right.
So it's like a whole moment. And then on top of that, my mom being like, yeah, that's really not going to happen. So, like, my mom is probably the most gangster church lady I've ever met. Because she's so sweet and kind until you get to that point where she's like, oh, you want to see this other side. You know what I mean? And then she's like, oh, okay. So it's like, yeah, nah, it's just terrible mix up. But one night I was at a show and this dude, they started heckling me, him and his buddy. And so I made a joke about him and his buddy being gay, whatever, you know, just like quick joke. I was like, anyways, next story. But then he was like, no, I'm not gay. And then he's like, I came here with her. And he pointed to this woman next to him and she was dressed very mannish. You know what I mean? Like, she had on a big ass gray tank top. Like, she looked like a fucking mechanic. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. She looked like a fucking mechanic. Big ass band. You know when they wear the thick fold bandana? The thick fold. You know what I mean? Like, slick back ponytail. So I'm looking at her, and as soon as he points to her, I was just like, you mean the dude next to you? And he lost it, bro. It was
made
his
fun
wife.
of the South Valley mascot, man.
Yeah, it was his wife apparently, and he was like, don't talk about my wife like that. I was like, hey, look, brother, you came for me. I'm just letting you know there's not really a topic that's off limits because I don't know you. One, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, there's nothing. Like, I'm gonna say whatever comes to mind because you're heckling me. So I'm like, whatever. And then, you know, like I said, man, I just got this. I go on an ego trip, and he was like, I'll kick your ass. And I was like, terrible choice of words. I was like, bro, you're not kicking shit up here, bro. I'm going to be here all night, after the show, everything. And then he was like, don't talk about my wife. So I was like, tell him to chill out then. And then so.
This is all happening on stage?
Yeah, like I'm on stage, mic in my hand. Like,
where's this at?
What is that place? It's off of. So you know where Juno is? Voodoo. That's what it's called. Voodoo Pizza Girl.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Tyler used to host a show there. I was about to say, I can't think of the name of it, but I know exactly where it is.
Yeah,
but
it's down there.
Yeah. So,
off like 4th or some shit. Yeah.
And so, you know, whatever I did, I was only supposed to do like 10 minutes, but I was on this dude's ass. I probably ended up doing like 15. I was like, fuck you, bro. Like, you're not going to kick my ass. And the whole time, because what made it worse, I think, is what really got him pissed is like when I called her a man, everybody else laughed really hard. Like everybody, like it was one of those like, you know, where you're like, ah! Like it was a cackle, like kind of laugh for a second. So I think that upset him because he felt like his wife was the butt of the joke. And it's like, bro, you brought this on yourself, man. Like I tell people all the time, if you don't want to be addressed at a comedy show, the best thing you can do really is just stay quiet.
Yeah, just shut up and laugh.
Yeah, that's the best thing you can do.
Most 9 times out of 10, whether they're a great comic, whether they're a beginner, whatever on the spectrum they're on, they're just gonna look at you like, all right, they're not fucking with it. All right, move on. Yeah. They're not gonna mind something that's empty.
Yeah,
not gonna fuck with that. It's like, okay, well, you're gonna kill the whole room.
Yeah, but yeah, that dude. Once he said he's gonna kick my ass, I was like, something about that just don't sit right with me, brother. Like it just don't. I was like, I really don't. And I think that was even the joke I made. I was like, your wife might be able to. You, sir? No. And like, it was just, you know what I mean? Like, it was just one of them nights where like, and I tell myself all the time, ever since that show, that's why I actually read a book about that, like how to kind of turn those situations around and stuff. And I told myself like, I gotta start doing it just because I was the opener, bro. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fuck. Oh, fuck.
I fucked that show up so bad. I felt so bad. It was me, Jess Wood, and one other comic. I can't think of who. I think Chuck Parker.
Oh, but God.
I forgot who it was. I know Chuck was. I think Chuck was there because I want to say me, him, and Jess all rolled together. And I asked her, I was like, "What do you think I should have did?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like with that guy. And she was like, "Honestly, the best thing you do is just always keep it funny." So I always remember that. Like keep it light, keep it funny. If he's like, if some person's over here upset, like pissed off, go to the other side of the room. Be like, I'm gonna talk to the nice people. You know, say something like to just leave it alone.
I learned that lesson at a First Fridays a few months ago. It was like, I don't know, maybe December, November of last year. And yeah, there's some drunk heckler in the back. And I just zeroed in on him. And it also didn't help that what I said wasn't very funny. Made a couple people laugh, but it just came off as more mean than anything else.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, fuck, I only got 5 minutes. I'm 2.5, 3 into it. I just burned 45 seconds on this guy. I'm fucked.
Yeah.
All right, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So I did that and I was like, I felt bad. I was like, I fucked up this whole show. But like, I think what like really pissed me off too is like, I'm getting off the stage and the dude's like dogging me, and I just straight to him. I was like, "Hey, brother, I'm gonna be right over there this entire show, whenever you ready."
Right.
And I just went over there. I sat in a chair specifically looking that way. I was like, "Just so you know, like, bro, I can see you this whole time." So like at first he was staring at me, and I just kept looking back. I was like, "Bro, like." Hey.
You gonna fight a comedian?
Well, no, in my mind, I was like, bro, we can definitely step outside. I have no, because that's my thing, bro. It's like at the end of the day, I don't know. I have like, men don't scare me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're all people. You know what I mean? Like I'm not going to be afraid of you. You think you're going to punk me? That's not going to happen. Well, you're going to have to go outside and fight me.
Yeah,
like that's it. So I just think like when people try and act all tough, stare you down and stuff, I'm like, bro, unless you're making a move, it's nothing. Like,
well, because especially like I look at stuff like, I haven't been in very many situations like that ever, but the few times that I have been, the very few, it's just like, well, this is either coming from a place of extreme insecurity, because the people that actually know how to fight don't act like that.
they don't.
Maybe there's like a 2% of them that are just assholes, and you'll have that with everything. But 98% of people that act like that do not know how to fight. And then vice versa, the 98% of people that do know how to fight are chill as shit because they put themselves through punishment on a regular basis.
And they're like, I don't want to do this shit.
Exactly. And they know the consequences of what a street fight turns into.
Exactly.
Because it's not like put your dukes up. It's either cheap shot and you fall to the ground, you hit yourself on the head. Somebody is getting picked up and slammed on their head. Or someone gets shot or stabbed. So nobody wants any of that.
Yeah.
Especially in Albuquerque. People just carry guns all the time and just use them. Like I remember maybe like, what the fuck was this, like a year and a half ago? I don't know, some video that came out of downtown. It's two guys were like, well, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right?
Where he shoots at him?
The one guy pulls out his gun. It looks like he accidentally shoots.
And it jams.
They start to run away, and one of the guys that's running away pulls out his pistol and is shooting like that.
Bro.
All next to a cop car, and nothing fucking happens.
Well, no, they caught the kid at the next block. So that was.
Did they get him? Okay.
Yeah. So
okay.
Bro, I thought that was the wildest thing ever because every time I saw that video, I was like, one, at point blank range, and you miss, you should not have a weapon.
Yeah.
You should not. You don't need to own that. You need to like take a class or something, bro.
Yeah.
Like take it home. Like stop. Like second. You're doing that shit in an open environment, bro. Somebody got shot down the street, didn't they?
No, so it was some club that had a balcony, and it was a guy that was sitting up there having a cigarette, and he caught one in the leg.
See, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I'm not even on the street with you. I'm up here.
Yeah,
your aim is horrible. And then on top of that, to shoot running away, I tell people all the time, if you're not a gangster, it's fine. It's okay. Nobody's going to look at you any different.
Cares.
You know what I mean? Nobody's going to care if you don't want to. You'd be surprised how many people actually don't like hanging out with gangsters. Because there's usually shit going on with gangsters.
I've told my chick that all the time. Like, if because we never go downtown just because like there's no need.
Yeah.
Like we might go hang out somewhere, but like 9 times out of 10, if I'm downtown, it's because I'm at a comedy show at fucking Safe House or some shit.
Yeah.
But I've told you, if there's ever a thing that happens, I'm putting you over my shoulder and I'm just going the opposite way.
Yeah, take off.
Because I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to get hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't blame you. That's honestly how it's supposed to be. Like, I tell people all the time, if, like, shots, as soon as you hear a gunshot, first off, duck. Mm-hmm. Like, if the shots stop, okay, look for your exit. Get out.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And then as soon as you get outside, just get away from the building.
Just go.
Get away from wherever the shooting happened. Just go. Like, we will find each other. I will find you. Shit, I'll probably be right behind you, making sure your dumb ass actually gets out. You know what I mean? Like, nah.
If anything, you're slowing me down.
Yeah.
I'm pushing your ass out the fucking...
I tell people this all the time. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I actually made a joke about this at Bourbon and Boots one time. But I, for real, every time I walk in anywhere, I just immediately like to know how the fuck I get out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At any, like, from any point in the room or just where those exits are. Like, where am I going to go? Where's my escape?
Yeah.
Right? So, whenever, like, whenever shit happens, and I told people this at Bourbon and Boots, like, I immediately, because it was Caleb Mulkey?
Yeah, yeah.
He did a set there, and, like, first off, Bourbon and Boots, like, that crowd is just basically there only for, to heckle and hear your crowd work. That's it. Like, that's pretty much the only thing they're there for. So, he goes up there, he's telling his jokes, and he starts getting booed. And he gets off stage, he's like, man, fuck you guys. So I make this joke about, man, y'all was bold booing a white boy. I was like, I got scared. He said, fuck you guys, and made it to the exit. I was like, hey, start watching that motherfucker. I don't know about you, Albuquerque. And I just pointed out, I was like, I know where all my exits are. And so, yeah, that was a good joke. But no, for real, man. Like, that's my paranoia, one of them.
How far did you make it into comedy until you hit the point where you're like, all right, this is something I'm gonna do until the fucking wheels fall off?
First time.
No shit.
So, like, what sucked about when I first started, I think I'd be much more, I guess, I don't know if the word is polished, or I'd have a better understanding of who, like, myself as a comedian, is if I had been doing it since consistently when I was like 20 years old. You know what I mean? Because I feel like it would have gave me that opportunity to really learn myself at that age to now and understand the differences, be able to make jokes about who I was then compared to now, you know? So, honestly, the first time I did it, I was like, I want to do it. Like, I got off stage and I was like, I want to go up again.
Are you talking about that first time at the talent show?
Mm-hmm.
Or for the homecoming? Yeah.
Yeah. And then so from there, I was just trying to figure out when I was literally like trying to figure out a way to make it so like I could how's a way I can get up in front of people with a mic, on a stage to tell jokes. I ended up hosting the homecoming pageant the next year, which was cool. I got to make like a couple jokes here and there, but it wasn't really me like,
right, yeah.
Doing stand up. So then my fraternity, we hosted this, I forgot what we did it for. It was like a talent show, and we ended up like, and it was this whole thing. It actually pissed me off because like they really made it harder than it should have been, because we set it up that somebody would get paid $500, whoever wins, right? So it was dope, right? We had the money in our account, everything. But when they went to go collect the money, they wouldn't give it to him. We're like, why? So then they were like, you need to get it from your advisor. I went to my advisor. He was like, yeah, it's fine with me. Went back to him. Well, we need this. Bro, look, just give the girl $500 out of our account. Like, bro, it pissed me off. To this day, I don't even think she got her 500.
Jesus.
It pissed me off so bad, bro. I was like, I really don't know what else I can do, because like everybody's saying yes, I'm getting you all the paperwork, and they're like, well, who's this person, bro? They had like our chapter president from like years ago, and I'm like, we submit new paperwork every year. Like, bro, there's no way it should be this hard for us as a group to pull the money out. You know what I mean? Like, y'all know us. You see me all the time on campus. I literally do. I'm hosting all the events. You know me. But so, yeah, man, we did that. That was the next time I did it. And I was like, hey, I don't want to be in the talent show. I just want to do comedy. But that actually made me feel really good. And that's what made me say, like, when I get the chance, I need to look into where I can do this consistently. I went back there to talk to the judges. I was like, hey, do y'all, you need more time? Like, you guys know who you want to vote for? Is it like, who is it? And they were like, well, a lot of us were thinking you did the best. And I was like, no, take me out. But at the same time, I was like, that's good to know. Yeah. But take me out. So then they were like, yeah, it was clearly her, whatever. Because this girl, she had like amazing vocals. So I was like, my comedy beat it. But I was like, yeah, I figured she was going to be the winner. I was like, she was a really good singer. We tried to tell her to go on American Idol. We were like, she was from Artesia.
No shit.
Yeah, so we told her, we're like, who knows? Like, you might be some small town girl that blows up. Yeah. Do it. Like, it could be you. Now I think she's just like living at home. Well, not at home, but still in her hometown.
Chilling, yeah.
So
when did you start doing it like consistently?
My first branch manager at Enterprise put me on to the open mic that Royal and Holly used to host at Inside Out.
Okay.
And so I went there. I don't even think I did my full time. I did maybe like 3 or 4 minutes.
How long ago was that?
That was 2018, 2019. I want to say 19 because it was pretty warm out at the time. Yeah, I want to say 19. But yeah, went there, did that. And that was dope because that was the first time I ever been on a stage for comedy. And I was getting some decent laughs or whatever, but like I just had no clue what I was really doing. But I did the same thing. I wrote everything out word for word, like what I wanted to say. And got my little laughs, got my high, got off stage, and I was like, all right, I got some laughs. Let's see how, like, keep going.
Right.
Like, how further can I push this for real? Because I'm telling you, man, if I ever blow up, and I don't even got to blow up, I don't even need to be a household name. Just consistent with it, man, and I'll be happy. But I feel like right now it's too inconsistent for me, which sucks because, like, I do really well on some shows, but I feel like it's the shows where I'm like, it's not the same. You know what I mean? Like, I might falter a little bit or something, and it just, it ruins it for me. I'm like, nah, I gotta be better. You know what I mean? Like, I'm somebody who's like mentally like, nah, it's gotta be right. Like, I gotta think it was funny. Like, I'm the final person. Like, I'm the final test.
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah. And then just the mental endurance you have to figure out, like, okay, I just bombed, or I just didn't do very well. What the fuck happened?
Yeah.
What went wrong? How do we retool this? How do we fix this and go back later? And because that's the crazy thing about stand up is like, you have to do it a lot. You have to keep doing it. And then like a place like Albuquerque where it's like you might get a spot a night at an open mic or at a show, maybe one spot. Because I think like my friends that might be in Austin or up in Denver or whatever, it's like, okay, well you have like, say you do like 3 a night. Like I remember specifically I did, I had an opportunity last year to do 3 shows in one night. And I got like a little taste of that. I was like, oh yeah, well I'm doing the same set every time. It's in 3 completely different places. Yeah. It's like, okay, well, this didn't work here. Okay, change this maybe a little bit, make it work better there. Oh, didn't work there. Okay, change it a little bit there. And then you're changing it in real time. Yeah. Rather than where we're at now, where it's like, okay, well, you got to do it. All right, maybe wait a day, 2 days, maybe even a week. You have to wait. And it's like you have changing it and then figure it out. It's because you're only getting 5 minutes, 10 minutes to really do it, execute it, figure it out, and then move on to another 5 to 10 minute experience. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's why for me open mics are so important because like I feel like for me shows they're there, but they're also still far and in between. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I try and hit the open mics, but the mental part for me, I think, where I like have to, I guess, say like next play it, especially after a bomb, is where I think like, okay, yeah, I bombed here, but I immediately start looking at it like as soon as I get off stage. And actually I talked to me and Buck because I want to say the last time I bombed really hard, it was a show with Buck D. It was the what is it called? It was, they were doing like the R&B nights, like, but with comedy. I can't think of the name.
Jokes and Jams.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Jokes and Jams.
Yeah, Jokes and Jams. Yeah, so it was when they were doing Jokes and Jams, and it was at Revel in that auditorium room or whatever.
And the backstage?
Yeah, backstage.
Yeah.
Well, no, so what's the one like where they have all the big ass concerts?
Oh shit!
Yeah, it was.
You were on like the Revel.
Yeah, I was on that stage.
How many people were there, dude?
Honestly, I couldn't tell you. At least 50 from what I could see from the stage. Like for sure,
at least 50. It had to have been more than that if they were all the way back there.
Honestly, it probably was, but at the same time, like I was just like I was trying to
insane.
be and I was trying to be so funny and like something to.
Is that the one that Josh was on? Was Josh Fournier?
No, he wasn't on that one. He did the one I think the one before or the one after, something like that.
Anyway.
But yeah, I bombed hard, bro. Like I got a couple of little jokes here and there, got a little bit of laughter at first, but it just started to go downhill, bro. And
were you just not connecting with the crowd? Was it the material?
I think it was just connecting with the crowd, being on so like one thing I tell myself, and I don't know why, but I tried to do something that's really not my style, where I was like moving around and stuff. And I'm more of a like straight up in the front, talking to you, looking at you in the face. You know what I mean? Like because I'm not a, what's the word? Like I don't act stuff out. I'm not a super energetic guy on stage. Right. Like I have like, I think one joke that really requires me to do any movement, and it's not even that much movement, you know? Right. So I was trying to be this person. I'm really not, forgetting stuff. I wasn't aware of my surroundings. Like I spilled a bottle of water on me at one point.
Oh, fuck.
Bro, it was just horrible, man. And like, I remember like we went back. So when I got off stage, I was standing there. Even Buck said, he was like, "Bro, you want to get on there again, huh?" I was like, "I do." He was like, "Yeah, I do." He was like, "I do the same thing. Like you get off stage and you be like, man, I could have did this. I could have said this." And I was like, "Yeah, bro, I'm thinking about all of it right now." And then even when we were backstage, like a couple other people that were doing comedy on the show, they told me, they were like, "Yeah, you just came out. You could just tell you were nervous. You know what I mean? Certain things you do, like I put my hands in my pockets, I think like right away when I got on stage. That's like a bad sign because you like close yourself off, I guess."
Yeah.
What else? I had to turn my back to the crowd at one point to like say something, and he was like, "Yeah, you can't really turn your back on them. Like even if you got to back up, like try and do it like still facing them, so you keep that connection stage, you know? Because once you turn your back too long, it's just gone. They think you're doing something else. You know what I mean?
Right.
So little stuff like that, and then that stuff's actually carried me really far. I try and never put my hands in my pockets or like fold my arms on stage. I try and always do something. I try and also tell myself, just stand here, do your thing. Tell your jokes, because I feel like that's me. Is like I'm not a off the wall guy. I'm not Marlon Wayans. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like a physical comedy.
Yeah.
Well, I think the best way that could be put is like you have to do, like there are, generally speaking, there are body language cues that you do that tell people in front of you he's either nervous or closed off or doesn't really want to be here, doesn't like what he's doing. There are general body language stuff you can do, but I feel like a lot of it is just figuring out what you're really comfortable with.
Yeah.
Like, cause you'll have people like a bunch of people imitate, you know, Shane Gillis earlier. A lot of people imitate him, where they'll do like, you have the mic, like your dominant hand, whatever mic holding dominant hand you have is holding the mic, and then your supportive hand is under it, and you do like that number. There's a lot of that, or like the hand behind the arm behind the back thing, or this hand is just doing something or whatever it is. Yeah. But I feel like, because if you're somebody that normally doesn't put your hand in your pocket, and then you do it because you're nervous, people will tell.
Yeah.
But if you're just hanging out and you're relaxed with your hand in your pocket, it's like whatever you know is natural to you will become natural to the audience.
Yeah.
Rather than just like, how do I try to consciously make myself feel natural or feel comfortable? Then that'll project to the audience like, oh, he's hiding something right now.
Yeah.
I think he's a little nervous.
Yeah. For sure. And I think that's what did it, is because I came out and I was like, "What's good, everybody?" And I was talking for a little bit, and then I kind of started to get quiet, and I like slipped a hand in the pocket, and I was still talking like, "Oh yeah, you know," like, and it fell off, man. And that was probably one of my worst ones, but I told myself after that moment, I was like, this is a sign, like, yeah, I just need to keep getting better. Because I tell myself all the time after you bomb, it's not that you need to quit, it's that you need to improve.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It just means you need to improve.
I really I think it's a lot more rare, that a bomb means you need to quit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if you're, I don't know, like, if you're doing the same thing over and over and it's not working, that's either massive delusion or a conscious choice to not get better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's because it's either like, no, I believe in it, this really does work, and it's just not working, or it's like, well, it worked this one place one time, I'm going to keep doing it. Like, some of the best advice I got I'm still in the very beginning. I'm just about to come up on 2 years here in a couple months. But like, one of the best pieces of advice that I got was from Steph early, maybe like a couple months in, where he was talking about, just don't get married to your material. If it's not fucking working, regardless of how much you like it, you need to drop it.
Yeah.
Just get rid of it, because the shit's not working.
Yeah.
So, and then the point I'm trying to get is like, if you're doing the same thing over and over again, it's either delusion or it's, it's not willing to change, not willing to fix things. But it's like, how many people are actually doing it? Like, because stand-up, like, it's obviously it's very challenging, but like, unless you're just a real sadist or just a glutton for punishment,
there's some out there.
Like, there definitely are. But like, why would you want to keep up there and do things that don't work? Yeah. Like, it's one thing if you're tweaking and changing. Because I'm going through a few of my bits right now where it's like, okay, that doesn't work. Okay, take that out. Maybe add a tag. Take the tag out. Move things around. Get rid of it's like I'm working on a fucking, and it's finally starting to get legs. Like, it's finally like, oh, okay, this is what I wanted to do with it. Now it's working. It's a joke about prison rape. Like, it's finally working out. But it originally started as, I'm too ugly to be gay.
Yeah.
And then it went to prison rape. But I was like, okay, well, the too ugly to be gay thing, like, it starts funny. It's like a funny line.
Yeah.
That I got a couple chuckles, but the unpackaging of it didn't work well enough. I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to ditch all of that and get to the point of why I'm scared of prison.
Oh, yeah.
Because those are two very separate things, and this one's working a lot better than this one. Just ditch that, stay here.
Yeah. Well, you know, you could always still, and so I'll say this, Steph's got a point. You shouldn't be married to your material, but if you like the topic, there's no reason you can't tweak the topic like what you just did.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can always tweak the topic. Like, even if it's like if you still want to stick with the idea that it's like, I'm too ugly to be gay, that could become like you telling a story where like then the punchline is like you tried to hit on like a guy or something and like he just turned you down. Just something stupid, you know?
Right.
So I hear what you're saying. I hear that for sure, because I think there's a lot of jokes that I tell that I'm like, this to me will never.
Yeah.
This isn't it. But what I always end up doing is like, oh, now I see how that could have been funny. And it's not trying to say the same joke a different way. It's like, nah, it's a whole different joke just on the same topic, you know?
Right. Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. How much time do you spend, let's say, like, weekly? How much time do you actually spend, like, sitting down, writing, like, going over material, like, really working that shit out?
So going over material really only at open mics. Like, that's when, like, I'm trying to, like, if I thought of something that might be funny, like, you'll hear a lot of jokes I say at an open mic just repeated throughout the week. Because it's like, I thought it was funny, or I just, like, maybe it's the way I'm saying it. Maybe it's, like, this one word, you know, because it's just so many things that all of a sudden just make something hilarious to people, right?
Right.
So usually that's when I'm really working something out. It's like if I'm at an open mic, it's because I'm trying to, like I feel like this new joke or I like this piece I have. But writing-wise, just in the moment, because the way I learned to write your jokes is, like, when you think something's funny, that's the joke. You know what I mean? So I'll be at work and it'll be something stupid. Like, I got a guy who every time I'm in the bathroom taking a piss, he walks in, oh, hey, Jay, what's going on? Or, like, he always says, you know, what's shaking? Like, always, right? And I was just like, man, when did it become acceptable at work for people to address you? You know? And, like, I want to tell this joke because it's like, the guy always comes in, what's shaking? I'm just waiting for him to one day be like, oh, man, put the monster away, or just something off the wall. You know what I mean? Like,
he stands right next to you at the urinal. Hey, nice watch.
Well, you know what's so crazy, bro, is the urinal's at my job. So originally, the place I work, I guess it was supposed to be like some type of like child care or something, like a school or something, I guess. So the urinal, it's like got the little kid urinal, you know what I mean? But even the adult urinal is like adult little person, like it's too fucking high schooler, right? Bro, like it's short. So like, and then it's like there's no like coverage, like whatsoever. Like you can't like lean into it and be like, I want you to see my dick. You know what I mean? Like, no, you're just there, like dick and balls out. Like somebody walks, bro. There's a guy. I'm not gonna say who he is. He's one of our executives. If you're using the bigger urinal, he will come and whip it out right next to you at that small one, no problem, bro. And it scares me because I'm like, I don't know if he's doing this to assert dominance or like what. Like, are you just trying to show off your dick? Like, what's going on, man? Like, the dude, like, legit, he'll like, as soon as he walks up, I like turn a little bit because I'm like, bro, hey, look, man.
So what's worse? Is it that, or is it you walk in? You ever watch Uncle Buck with John Candy?
Yeah.
Remember in that part where he goes to the kids' school and he has to kneel in front of the fucking urinal to take a piss?
Bro, if the small one is available, I legit just go use the stall. I'm like, I'm not doing that, man. Like, I don't know, bro. It's just something about it, man. Like standing there, cause like, one, like if there's like nothing else, like yeah, whatever, use it. But something about it, bro, cause like. Even so, like the executive, even when he does it, like if he's using that bigger urinal, he still kind of stands a little bit back. Like he doesn't care. Like he's like, nah, man. So it's like,
I've been working on this fucking arch.
Right? He's like, I want you to see this stream. Like, nah, bro. Please get away from me.
That's hilarious. Dude, I'm so thankful the office space that it's not very big, but the office space that I work at, there's 2 bathrooms and both of them are a single use bathroom.
That's amazing.
And they are both like they're pretty big for their size. And I'm the type of dude like, and this is 100% because of my experiences in the military, dude. If I'm in a calm, quiet area to take a shit, dude, I will straight up I will take my leg out of one of the pants and let that one slide and just be comfortable, bro. Yeah. I need my space.
Yeah, that actually used to be a big thing for me when I was a kid. My mom used to hate it. I would get naked to take shits, and my mom, so she never really shamed me for it. She was just like, "Why? Like, why?
Where did my parenting fuck up?"
Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm the only one out of all her kids who like would get completely naked. But you know, bro, like you said, like you're in a comfortable spot. You just, bro, like I want to like I think it's so constraining putting your pants around your ankles. I don't care what anybody says. It's the most uncomfortable trying to like sit there. Like, no, I want to sit. Like I want to be comfortable taking this shit. So like I do the same.
The only revolution I have not brought into my life yet that I've been meaning to is I have a lot of friends that have it, is a fucking squatty potty. Bro. This shit where like you put your feet on it and it like arches your knees up. Yeah. Like I was talking to I had a couple of my friends in here that are like fucking like doctors and shit like they're actually in the medical field like doing shit, and one of them got her doctorate and like her field is pelvic floor health. Right, so it deals with all of like digestive systems and all that stuff. And she's telling me, yeah, that's the way you're supposed to do it, like an animal. And I'm like, no shit.
You're supposed to squat, like, well, at least knees to chest.
You're supposed to have like your knees up because it like relaxes the muscles and shit. And that's just like the number one way that you get hemorrhoids. And then what was the other one? This other thing she was talking about is just fucking any kind of like pushing. Clenching. She was like, you need to like be able to relax the muscles as much as humanly possible because obviously when you like you can train your body to get used to a lot of different things where it's like, you know, if you like for me, I know like a reason why I have to like come in and out of smoking at night. I will smoke during the day like sometimes. Like there was a period of time where I was only smoking at night to help me go to sleep. Mm-hmm. But then when I don't smoke, it's hard to go to sleep. Yeah. You know, you're building up different tolerances and your body's getting used to different things. So it's like if your body's just used to you voluntarily using the muscles down there, then it's not going to voluntarily do it itself. But when in reality, they're all like self-regulating muscles to do that. And the best way to activate them is fucking...
For you to be relaxed and just let them do their job.
And have your fucking knees up. It like activates something or like relaxes them and they do their own thing. Yeah, dude. So then, yeah, I'm gonna invest in probably a nice squatty potty, or maybe get a couple of milk crates in there.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, you kind of sold me. I'm like that does sound like it's a good idea. Like it's like, if it really does, like if that works, like hell yeah. Cause like, so you ever heard that theory, like the invention of the toilet, like we sit on it wrong?
Oh, where you're supposed to be like because you sit the other way.
Yeah, like where the bowl is. Yeah, like crazy, right?
Because I didn't hear about that until the South Park episode. You ever seen that with Butters? Like, when you put your chocolate milk in your comic book, and I was like, that's genius,
bro. So I remember somebody had like I heard that on South Park, and I didn't think anything of it. And then fast forward, and somebody was like, "Yeah, look at these like." Oh, and I was like, there's no way this is real. But at the same time, it made so much sense. They were like, yeah, look at the original design of it. And I was like, looking at it, and I was like, I could see it. Like, if a guy was like, yeah, you rest up here, you know, you lean forward. Like, I could see it. And then it's like, yeah, then the flush right here.
Right there where you push it.
Just, and I was like, dang. I don't know if this is real or not, but fuck, it makes sense.
Well, you know why? This is a lot of shit talk that I did not understand. However, or did not expect. But okay, so like the initial like seat that you put up and down, you know why that has the divot in it, right? Why it doesn't go full circle?
No, why?
Because I originally grew up thinking that so your fucking dick doesn't hit it, your balls don't hit it, or you don't pee on it or whatever. But the reality of it is because of fat people. Yeah, so if you put too many, because think about it, it's the same reason why why it's not one giant concrete slab on a sidewalk, why it has a divot, so that if the concrete breaks, it stops at that divot, it doesn't break the whole sidewalk.
Yeah.
I guess that they figured out, they're like, okay, we've had so many fat people sit on the original design, and if there's too much pressure on it, it cracks. So the pressure, so it's like that. So there's pressure starting here, it goes out there, and your worst case scenario is it just spreads a little bit. You might have some cracking around the hinge points.
Yeah.
But if you have a full circle, that's all going to come apart and it splits right there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, right?
Bro.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, man.
I had that same reaction about 6 months ago.
Bro, that's wild. Yeah. I feel bad for big people, man. I feel bad for For the weight challenged out there.
Dude, how crazy is it? On a different subject, how crazy is it? That's not crazy, but like to watch the body positivity movement just fall apart at the moment Ozempic came out.
Yeah.
The moment Ozempic came out.
I gotta be honest, it's not really surprising just because I knew. So, like, for example, I got a friend and she's very body positive and I love her to the death. Like, to this day, I'm like, if you're happy, cool, whatever. But at the same time, like, just seeing how people went from, like, because even some of the people I knew in high school who were, like, fat shaming people, all of a sudden, like, that's not okay. I'm like, yo, weren't you the same asshole that was fucking asking her if she had an emergency Twinkie or some shit? You know what I mean? Like, weren't you a dick to, like, bro?
Well, because you can walk and chew gum at the same time. You can say, hey, because I don't agree with fat shaming. I love talking shit. But fat shaming in a real sense, like bullying somebody is not okay.
Yeah.
But you can do that and then on the other hand say, but you're also unhealthy. You can do the same. You can do two things at the same time.
And that's the line I like to live on. You know what I mean? Like, that's the one I like to strive. I was like, I understand, like, your choices are not good health choices. But that's why I say, like, if you're happy, it's fine with me. I'm not going to force you to be healthy. I can't do that. You're grown.
But just recognize that you're making some poor decisions. But then Ozempic comes out.
And all these people
and you got everyone from Lizzo to the already in shape taking Ozempic.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, okay, so body positivity, even to the people that have the millions of dollars, that have every resource to have every test ran.
To just go get on a fucking treadmill.
They could hire every trainer and dietitian.
All of it.
And all of these people, even they don't fuck with hard work in that sense. They just want the quick pill or the shot.
Give it a shot. Let's call it a day.
Yeah, well, because a mutual friend of ours, not going to say who it is, hit me up, and he was like, hey, I went to the doctor trying to get his weight in check, and he was like, hey, man, they were trying to immediately put me on Ozempic. What the fuck do you know about it? I'm not, like, the most knowledge-based, or the most knowledgeable about, like, medicines kind of guy, but, like, I know enough. Yeah. And I was like, well, from what I've read about Ozempic, if you have previous thyroid issues, which a lot of overweight people do, if you have thyroid issues, it's going to fuck you up in the long term. That's what I'm reading right now, is that they're projecting some thyroid issues in a lot of people, because a lot of people have extreme, like people have like that where they're considered it's the big issue or the big scare about COVID, the pre-existing conditions. If your thyroid issue is severe enough to be considered a pre-existing condition, it's already fucking them up. So they're projecting now that down the road, prolonged usage of Ozempic is going to fuck up your thyroid because of how much it jacks up your hormones.
Damn.
And I was like, well, if you're worried, if you have like thyroid issues in your family, it's like, yeah, a few of us do. I was like, maybe you might want to just hit the gym, fucking have a high protein diet, eat a couple of salads, put the sodas down, stop drinking a little bit. Think it'll be okay.
Yeah, that's where it starts, man. And because and I think what's crazy is like, something I think a lot of people, like, if you're fat, like, there's nothing wrong with it. And, like, if you experience, like, health issues, there's still nothing wrong with it, because there's skinny people that still get diabetes. There's skinny people that still have terrible blood pressure because they don't eat right. You know what I mean? Especially in the black community, bro, because, like, just all the stuff that, like, all the fucking, the seasoning and stuff, the salty foods, bro. Like, I love us as a people, man, but, man, the food is, if white supremacy don't do it, the food is for sure coming for us, you guys. Like, I'm gonna be honest. Like, look, man. So, like, you know, like, for real, like I feel like it's no shame in knowing that you need to, because, like, they say that's like 70% of it, right, is your diet. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, abs. Well, it's a fucking cliche, but it's the truth. Abs are made in the fucking kitchen. Like, when I was bodybuilding, dude, my abs came from my diet. Like, yes, I did a lot of cardio. Yes, I did a lot of ab workouts. But the ab workouts, you can't target fat loss. It's biologically impossible. You can't. Anyone who tells you different is a fucking liar. Like, you can't target fat loss in your fucking love handles or in your neck or your whatever. No, you just lose fat wherever your body, based on your body type and your genetics and just your general buildup, you lose fat based on where your body thinks it needs to lose fat the quickest, based upon your biological buildup. So, whenever you're doing ab workouts, just like anything else, if you're doing bicep curls, if you're doing bench press, you're not doing that to burn the fat around your biceps, to burn the fat around your chest. You're doing it to build the muscle.
Yeah.
That's all you're doing. So same thing with ab workouts. You're just strengthening the abdominal and the oblique muscles, man. What you're doing, it's 100, not 100%, but like the majority of your fat loss is because of calorie deficit being from your diet and your cardiovascular workouts, whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
So yeah, your abs are 100% built in the kitchen.
Yeah, in the kitchen, man.
Because you can't outwork a shitty diet.
Nah, you really can't, which, sucks, but like people I feel don't understand that, like if you could, that would be great. But yeah, you really have to just eat well. Like so much more. I feel like even if you don't work out and you just switch up your diet, you'd be surprised just the small changes that start to happen.
Oh yeah. Well, it was like it's anecdotal, but like with a lot of runners that are even regardless of what shape they're in, a lot of runners they'll eat. Just so like an example of what food can do for you, like they'll eat an apple like 10 to 15 minutes before a run because it's a small change, but
the source of like energy.
Well, so it dilates your veins, and so blood travels a lot smoother.
Really?
And so with that more oxygen that's traveling through you, it's a general like anecdotal thing, but a lot of runners will eat an apple before they run because there's something in the apple helps dilate the veins. Oxygen's traveling quicker, blood's moving quicker, and they're able to have more endurance. Yeah,
that's interesting. I never knew that. Yeah. That's really cool.
Mm-hmm. And that's why like if you eat a banana after you have sex, you fucking recover a little bit quicker because all the potassium. Yeah.
And here I am just like, give me some water. I'll be all right. Bottle of water, couple push-ups. Right back in it.
Yeah, dude.
Give me a second. Just flick it a little bit.
That's funny. But yeah, it's 100% your diet, man. And that's like one of the things that excites me about RFK. Yeah. Like, I don't think he's going to get a lot done. Like he announced today that he's pushing for a bill that's going to remove the pharmaceutical ads from television. I think that is a huge net positive, right? And he already started pushing for bills to get rid of like red 40 or like yellow 40 and red 5 or yellow 5 red 40, like get rid of the food dyes. And then it was funny because when he was doing I was watching like all the congressional hearings for the cabinet, and he was sitting there. And he's like, well, my boss, I really think that you should be able to have a Big Mac. I don't want to take that from you. My boss loves Big Macs. He'd be really mad. And it's like, well, all right, fair enough. Like, you don't want to take away all the McDonald's from people.
That's funny.
Fucking great. But, I mean, yeah, I agree. Like, you should probably have just like we have. Like, have you ever seen a pack of cigarettes from, like, Mexico? From any South American country? Ever? So, so on the pack of cigarettes, they look just like Marlboro, whatever. It looks just like ours, Camels, but they have a picture of like a black lung. You've never seen that?
No.
Yeah, dude. So like, and I didn't know about this until I went to military school, and the school that I went was down in Roswell, and there was a bunch of Mexican students, like straight up like from Mexico, and a lot of them smoked because like it's a part of the culture. Yeah. And they would show me the fucking cigarette packs, and they had they would have like pictures of like fucked up teeth and gums, like fucked up lungs, like watch. So okay, yeah. So here's one example. So somebody literally on a hospital bed.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and then let me see if I can find the one with a lung on it. Oh yeah, they'll have one with a fucking kid on it. Oh yeah, because the kid's inhaling fucking secondhand smoke.
That's crazy.
Watch cigarette packs, lungs.
It's actually not crazy. That's an amazing idea.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So you'll have like that shit.
Oh yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, well, because I remember because my family, my mom's side of the family, they're from the South, like they're from Alabama.
Yeah.
And I remember my grandmother, she'd be smoking Marlboro Reds. I'd be sitting on her lap, inhaling the fucking secondhand smoke all
not thinking anything of it, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for real, man. I know. I never seen anything like that. Only thing I've seen is I think it's like New York. They put like these like little strips in the like cigarette section, like underneath them and above them, that just say like smoking causes this, smoking does it. So the whole time like you're looking to buy like which ones you want to buy, it's like giving you all these facts about how many people it kills and all this stuff. But that's crazy. Yeah, my grandmother smoked too, man. So I feel you, cause yeah, same thing.
And you were like, oh, it smells so good.
No, yeah, like, oh, that's cool. Like I used to be so casual about it, like didn't care. And then even when they mentioned secondhand smoke, I remember, I don't know, I want to say I think it was my mom or one of my aunts. I mentioned like how we should tell grandma to stop smoking because of secondhand smoke, and they were just immediately like, don't do that.
Yeah, good fucking luck.
Don't. Yeah, they were like, don't do it. She ended up quitting on her own though. So I mean, like she did it herself, but at the same time, like I was like maybe like 7 or 8, and I was like, yeah, that we should tell her. Like I want her to be healthy, you know, like dare to be different. No, grandma don't care. Grandma's 87 and doesn't give a fuck about your health.
And then you grow up a little bit, and you're like, hey, I understand it.
Yeah,
I get the nicotine. I get the see. And that's what kills me about these fucking Zens. Is like I started Zen because I would chew a lot.
Yeah,
fucking love chewing tobacco. I miss it every day. But I got on that because it would help me with the cravings of the nicotine. I was like, well, I think I'd rather deal with the neurological addiction issues, because there's actually some stuff that are coming out that show the benefits of nicotine on the body. But there's the clear like negative side of it, meaning mainly the addiction. You just keep fucking like, dude. 2 weeks ago, I didn't have any nicotine for a full day, like a Sunday. I maybe threw 1 pouch in on a Monday morning, had none of it the rest of the Monday. And Monday night, I'm trying to eat dinner, and I'm just irritable. Like, I have no appetite. I can't figure out what to do on the TV. I'm like, why the fuck am I so mad right now? I don't get mad very often. Like, what's wrong with me? I'm like, oh, those are withdrawals. Yeah. Oh, those are withdrawals. But yeah, so now I'm like, I'm zinning more than I've ever fucking chewed. So I was like, what am I doing with the cancer, I guess?
Yeah. You know what's so crazy is I realized that's me when I smoke weed. Because like, so like, and what's so crazy is like, if I'm not smoking weed, it's not the irritability. My thing is I'm a blunt guy. Oh, if I'm not smoking blunts, I get irritable. Because I can smoke weed and I'll be fine. But like, it's not the same. So like, for example, like right now I'm on like a leaf kick. Like I be rolling like loose leaves and stuff. Okay. And so like I tell myself like that's what's really doing it. It's like I'm rolling tobacco. I'm literally sitting there smoking a tobacco leaf. It's dipped in all these flavoring chemicals and stuff. Like, oh, it's natural peach. This is no fucking natural peach flavor. Get at it. Like, what are you doing? Dipping it in peach juice? Yeah, all right. Sure. Fuck out of here.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. So I'm telling myself, like, I could probably stop smoking weed. I just got to kick the blunt habit first.
Right.
Like, if I could kick smoking blunts, I'd be like, all right, I'm good. But it's just something about it. I think it's, you know, like you said, like, it's relaxing. Like, you just sit down and chill, bro. Like, I can't do it, though, man. But, yeah, that's my next step. I'm telling myself, like, man, if you could just stop with the blunts, weed would be so much easier to be like, all right, I'm cool.
Well, it's just tough to get off. I think nicotine is... And before you start getting into like the very hard drugs like heroin, meth, and coke and all that shit, like nicotine's like at the top of the rung as far as like addictive chemicals go. Yeah, it's tough to fucking.
Yeah, I want to say because like a lot of people in my family smoke cigarettes. I can always tell when somebody needs a cigarette too. That's what's so crazy. Like it's definitely addictive. Yeah, like you can always see it. Like the cigarette smokers, you can sense like what it is. Cause like I for example, I got an aunt. She'll be pissed about something, and she'll just be having this whole mood when she come in. But as soon as she take that first hit, all of a sudden she be like, "All right, so what we doing for dinner?" Yeah, real relaxed, all calm. She be like, "Oh, y'all want to go out? Like, let's get out the house." Like, you know, all of a sudden everything it's fine, and it's like
that's exactly, dude. I was kind of, and that's what kind of like knocked me in like the right headspace a couple weeks ago. So I was going through that Monday night, and Tuesday morning, I got a can of Zins, threw one in, and instantly, I was like, oh no, that's addiction.
Yeah, my girlfriend, bro, it's the funniest thing. And you know, when she said it, I was like, oh, I love you so much, but like that was a tough one. Like that was a hard pill to swallow. I guess I was being irritable, and she called it out. And like her first like thing that she said to me, she's like, "Do you need to get a nut off?" And I was like. What? She was like, you're like, I don't know what it is. You need to get a nut off right now? And like in my head, I'm like, maybe. You know what I mean? Because I'm like,
are you offering?
Yeah, like she said it, and I was like, yes. I'm not gonna say no, but she was like, she said that, and then like before we ended up having sex later. That's hooray! Like put some applause in there for that. No, but. No, before that, she was like, you want to, like, roll a blunt or something? Like, are you good? Like, we can just chill. Like, what's wrong? And I was just like, nah, yeah, you're right. I'm I'm irritable, and I feel like that's what it was. Because I mean, don't get me wrong, the nut was great, but I'm pretty sure
I got half the chemical equation knocked out. There's a second half.
Nah, yeah. But for sure, I was just like, that's probably what it is. Because I realized it. Because I can go to work and I'll be fine. Yeah, I think it's like, how you said, like you get used to it on a schedule or something almost. Yep. So it's like, I feel like I was on a schedule. Like, I don't really need it at work. I'm cool. But when I get home and everything, I'm like, damn it, like. Where's the blunt? Like, I'm sick of this shit.
There's a reason happy hours at 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock. There's because not all, but most Americans like, all right, after work drink, after work whatever. There is a reason for that shit. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's also why most domestic violence cases happen at 8:30. Just kidding, everybody. Just kidding. It's horrible.
That's fucking funny. You should fucking use that. That's funny. That's real funny. Man, listen, this has been a lot of fun, dude.
For sure, man.
Thank you for coming on and doing this.
Yeah, no doubt, brother. Thank you for having me.
Where can everyone find you on social media? Do you have any shows coming up soon? This will be out in about like 2 or 3 weeks, give or take.
2-3 weeks. So in about 2 weeks, I'm actually going to be in Corpus Christi doing my first show where I was asked to come out there.
Good shit.
So lately, what I've been doing to get myself out of Albuquerque is I go to their city and I'm like, hey, you got a show, open mic, whatever, and I just hop on whatever anybody gives me, and that's been working pretty well. But I went out to San Antonio for Thanksgiving to visit some family. I did a show out there while I was there, and the dude was like, hey, I'm doing a show in Corpus Christi. He was like, I'd love to have you come down. I was like, bet. I'm there, brother. So
good shit.
So I'm really hyped about that. That's coming up right now. Small. I tell myself it's a small step, but it's a huge step in like the direction I'm trying to head. So that's dope. But here in Albuquerque, I got First Fridays coming up. That's gonna be at Tractor Brewing down off of 4th Street, Wells Park. Tractor Brewing on the first Friday of April. And then what else? I feel like I got something else coming up, but I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Like I'm horrible with my calendar because like. Everything comes like in a DM or like somewhere where I just can't immediately put it to my calendar, and it screws me every time.
That's exactly why I have an Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. The roast battles at the end of April, come out for those because I'm excited they're coming back. The roast battles are always fun. Like even if people bomb, they're always fun.
Okay, so did you get a lineup for that yet?
Yeah, bro. You put up a lineup.
What?
Yeah.
Hey, Evan, you fuck.
Yeah, bro. Are you not in the group chat?
Fuck. You fuck. You fuck. I was literally talking to my chick last night because I was going over all the shows that I have coming up. And I'm like, I still ain't heard shit about Roast Battle.
Hey, you want to know who you're going against?
I do.
Trip.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, man.
Good.
That's funny, man.
Oh, shit.
That's hilarious. I feel bad for Alan that there's a group chat for the roast battles that you're not in. I feel like everybody's in it though. That's why I literally never think to ask because I feel like everybody's usually in it.
Well, I know there's a group chat for like Albuquerque comedy. I don't want to be in that shit. But
there's my thing on the
cool.
fucking pages, bro, in the group chats. I'd rather just like, we got a Facebook page. That's all we really need.
Yeah.
Once it started going to like private messages, that's like at first I was like, all right, whatever. There's this one that we're all in. It's cool. It's fine. Especially because at the time it was specifically for, and I'll just say it was for the garage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was like to let people know that the garage was happening, whatever. So it turned into this big old comedian group chat. Then next thing you know, a separate one got made for reasons that I'm not going to discuss because this podcast is about me.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't fucking matter.
But so then it got made, and like immediately once I started to see that there was like this riff happening, I was like, nah, like no. I don't want to be a part of it. Like post it, in my opinion, just post it directly to the New Mexico Comedians page because everybody who does comedy should be in there. When you meet a new comedian at an open mic, that's the page you should tell them about for when it comes to getting on shows, open mics, all that. As far as like the private messages though, we just need to like get to the point where it's like, hey, unless this is for a show, we don't need this private message with 100 people in there.
I agree.
It's just too much.
Well, I appreciate you showing me that.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm excited.
Bro, Evan, get this man in the group chat, bro. I'm gonna add you. Matter of fact, I'm gonna add you right now. Literally, bro. I'm gonna add you. But yo, thank you for having me, man.
Yo, thanks for coming on. This is great. Oh, where can people find you on social media?
Oh, social medias. I'm just AJ_, and you literally got to spell it out. IMJUST. AJ_, because apparently when I say that, people think I just mean AJ_, but no, I'm just AJ_. Spell out the whole thing like a Tribe Called Quest.
Listen, bro, this has been fucking sick. I'll love to do it again sometime.
For sure, man.
You're awesome. You're a funny guy, too. So keep this shit up, bro.
You too, brother. Thank you. Dope setup.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone, for listening and watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the podcast. If you like what you've seen here, please share it with as many people as possible. Follow us on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, Facebook, Apple Podcasts. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. It really does help out the podcast. And if you're feeling extra generous, feel free to subscribe to our Patreon, which I have coming soon.